Oh, that is a nice copper coin. But oh, Doug, do you know what time it is?
45 up.
Who says 45 of, Doug? It's quarter after. Who says 45? You know, I was going to try to change that up, but when I played it back last night doing a test, I still thought it was funny. So here it is. One more week. Who says 45 up? But what's up, guys? Quarter Hoarder here. We have a pretty fun show today, I think. Of course, I'm biased. Pretty fun show today. We got a lot going on. My goal was to try to do the whole show in like an hour and a half. And if anybody out there knows me at all, we're probably going to go long because that's just how it works. I know I'm wearing double glasses. I'm going to take them off. I'll probably lose some. I'm going to bring in some of the guys and we're going to get this started. So I will bring in first the man of the hour this week, Charlie, the Heritage Relic Hunter, who has been on fire. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jason. It feels good to be on fire.
Charlie, we're not going to get into this until later.
Okay.
But just to give a little background, Charlie found this in this week's video. I am stoked to talk about it, Charlie. If you don't know what it is, you're going to be in for a real treat. Maybe you can minimize the show and watch Tuesday's video in the background, but it's going to be so exciting, Charlie. I couldn't have been happier for you. Just unbelievable.
I feel real good about it. Very surprised, very shocked.
Well, I'm more excited than you are, I think. My hair's still sticking up my arms. Let me bring in, of course, the lovely and talented Rich. And of course, Lynn's there.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
No, I'm only kidding. Lynn's the lovely, talented one. Rich digs in the dirt like we do, Charlie. At the moment, you may notice we're missing somebody. I don't know if he's going to be here or not. Doug is on like a mini vacation. He's trying to get on from his Airbnb. I think he was having technical difficulties. If he comes on, that's great. If we don't see him, he's here in spirit. You know, he's got a little getaway with the wife. So I'll keep my eyes out for him. We're going to bring in, we have a couple of guests this week, guys. The first time ever a scheduled guest. We actually have two scheduled guests. And I brought them on because in a couple of weeks, there's some detecting events coming up. And two of them were exceptionally good, at least sounding. And we decided we were going to go. Of course, they happen to be the same weekend. So we're dividing and conquering. Doug and I are going to one event. Charlie and Rich are going to the other event, the exact same weekend. And in my mind, I might do some video thing where, you know, we'll be down there. Let's check in on Rich. You know, we'll come back to us and, you know, bounce back and forth. I don't even know. We're going to see. But I'm going to have both of the event organizers on today to talk about the hunts because tickets are still available to both of them. What do you think of that, Charlie?
That's hard to believe, but let's get started.
Yeah, the one is in, well, we'll get into it later, but one's in a colonial area and one is in a Civil War area. So whatever kind of hunter you are, there's going to be some good fun if you want to get to one of these hunts.
I think most of us are both of those hunters.
Right.
Well, I'm a wannabe Civil War hunter. We just don't have that much activity around here. But I sure would love to. That's kind of why I picked that one. I do want to say some hellos in the chat. I see Becky McKay, Hollywood Joe. Oh, look, there's two Hollywood Joes. Hollywood Joe and Hollywood Joe Metal Detecting, who's one of the moderators. Teresa, the treasure hunter, who I think Teresa is going to the Come Out Swinging hunt. Isn't she, Charlie?
You know what? I'm not sure. I know a week before that, a week after that, she's going to England. I wasn't sure. She never really said anything to me about it.
Oh, she's going to England. Maybe not. Well, Teresa, if you're going, put it in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll see Teresa at yet another hunt in May out in Ohio. We'll come to that one as it gets closer. I see KK Karen is in the chat, who we just hunted with recently. What a good hunter she is. Sharon Theobald, Kitty Lobo, Dirty Paws Detecting, Wayne Hullahan, Joe Nachuda. Oh, I might have butchered that. Sorry, bro. Team Lynch is in the house. I love Team Lynch. Coils for Foil, Chris O'Brien, Wendy Olson, Prairie Pirate, who is our good buddy David Chumley. The Swing, Marcy M, Tony Rags, Hot Mess Fiction. That's cool. Yeah, she said in April, that's the Detecting the Heartland hunt that we're going to be going to. We'll talk about that in a future episode. Rich's favorite, Clem Fandango.
Hey, Clem.
Hey, Clem.
Free Bidge Metal Detecting. Charlie's favorite, Turd Ferguson, is in the house.
I gotta give a shout out to Ellen Huffnell, a person I know from around the area here. She's in the chat.
Rich, I'm going to need you. Without Doug here today, I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, and I'm going to be hoarse for the weekend. So I need you guys to jump in and do a lot of talking.
Charlie, let's not talk at all.
I mean, I'll still do it. I'll just be really hoarse come Saturday. We Dig Metal Detectors in there, who is my buddy Andy, who is going to be at the Missouri hunt. Wes Stringer, also going to be at the Missouri hunt, good buddy of ours. Free Bridge Metal Detecting. It goes on and on and on. Rich, how many are in the stream at the moment?
Wow, 229.
229. I hope half of them go to one of the hunts and the other half go to the other one. That would be nice. Mark Taylor, Plug Ugly, Dirt Devil, Detecting. I'm trying to get all the names in because once I bring the guests on, I might not be able to see them as much.
We got a super chat from Robert.
Oh, Robert Dunn. Thank you, Robert Dunn. And Robert, if you were able to go to one of the events we're going to talk about today, I will have Rich give you something.
No.
Right, Rich?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's okay, Rich. He heard me. That's all.
Something distracted us here.
That's okay. Oh, Bells is here. Our good buddy Bells. Bells, I'm trying to see if Doug can get in. I saw him earlier. He was kind of in the back, kind of not. Now he's gone. So I don't know if Doug's going to be here tonight. But like I said, he's here. He's here in theory. What time we got? 7:24. All right, I'm going to bring Mitch on in a few minutes. But before we do, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later, we do have a Guess Lynn's Thing segment lined up for today, which is a fan favorite, Lynn. But I wanted to do a quick thank you because the last live stream we had mentioned that Lynn was going to an event in Ohio, which was this past weekend.
Right.
And I said, if anyone goes out to the event, we're going to give Lynn something special and she'll hand them out. And she had people actually show up, Lynn.
Yeah.
Now, not only did Lynn give them the gift, Lynn took a picture with them. We're going to show a little bit later. But I was so happy to even hear that people really did show up. Even though we do, the YouTube show, when you see like X amount of people watch, or you're doing the live stream and there's X amount of people in the chat, sometimes my brain still doesn't make that connection that those are real human beings. So when you ask them, hey, can you come here? Can we get together and meet? And then you see the person face to face, it kind of cements that, because it's just such an abstract thing. But when they come out and you get to see them, I don't know, I get really choked up with that. I'm so glad that people came out to your event, said hello. Some of them drove hours, you said. So
Right.
Didn't you say it was seven people came?
Yeah, 3 groups of people, 2 couples, and then a group of 3. It was such fun meeting them all. And they were all really nice and big fans of the show.
Well, I'm going to put their pictures up and give a shout out because it'll behoove them. If you're at another event or we're at an event, if they show up, I'm going to get some pictures of them, as long as they, want to be in there. So, all right, let's bring in our first guest, guys. This is going to be our first scheduled guest ever on the Quarter After Show. I know we had Brad come on like impromptu once. That doesn't count. This is our first scheduled guest. So let me bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mitch Barks. Say hello to Mitch, Lynn.
Hi, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch, how you doing?
Where are you?
I like the single Lynn out. All right, Mitch has got to get his the perfect angle there. That you look good, Mitch.
Guys, I got bad news. I can't hear you.
You can't hear us. We did do a test run earlier. Mitch, how is your lip reading ability, Mitch?
Oh no.
Can you read? Uh-oh.
Not good, I guess.
Mitch, leave the stream and come back. I'm going to kick you out. Rejoin again. Let's see if it fixes it. If you can hear me, Mitch, nod.
I have some technical difficulties. I'll get
All right,
back.
I'm kicking you out. Come back in. All right. I
wonder if he has to hit something like we did.
I kicked Mitch out. Well, you know what, Rich? I'm sure he'll be back in a minute and I'll bring him back in. That's one of the things about the live show that's really challenging. And one of the things I love about the YouTube videos is because I can spend 20 hours throughout the course of the week editing every little part of the video so it's nice and tight. But when you go live, you don't know what's going to happen.
Nope, anything could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. Well, not anything. Like there's a good chance Charlie's not going to take his shirt off. But I guess in theory, yeah.
You just gave him that idea now. Now it's more likely.
Yeah.
But while I'm waiting for Mitch,
Maybe 50 years ago.
50 years, you were 2 years old 50 years ago, Charlie. While I'm waiting for Mitch to come back in, and hopefully he can come back in, I'm going to start promoting the hunt just to keep us on schedule. So it's the weekend of April 6th and 7th. It's in Greenville, Missouri, and the event is called the ShowMe Pro-Am. Here comes Mitch. He's back. Let's see if he can hear me.
All right, I can hear you. Can you hear
There
me?
he is.
Yep.
Woohoo, boy.
All right, thank goodness, because I need you to talk about it. If I knew what was going on at the event, I wouldn't need you.
I have no idea what happened there, but about the time you put me on there, the lights flickered and I was gone.
That's
Like
okay.
that.
Well, I was just talking about the hunt. I want you to fill in the gaps. I'm going to give the little bit that I know because I don't know a ton. I'm going to have Mitch tell everybody what it is, and then I might have some questions for him. But I know the event is called the ShowMe Pro-Am, and it is in Greenville, Missouri, and there is a lot of history in that area. Can you tell us a little bit about the hunt area, Mitch, and if it's going to be a seeded, natural combination? What's going on at this event?
All right, so in our event, it is a combination of seeded and natural. We have designated 4 fields for Saturday that is seeded, and if you get tired of hunting that, you can go on to the natural area, which is, I don't know, there's probably 600 more acres that you could hunt if you wanted to. And
Wow.
there's a grist mill and a sawmill and an old railroad. The military road runs through there. The Trail of Tears. There's a ghost town. There's a store, a graveyard. We have a Union picket site. There was at least 2 skirmishes on this property. Now it's 1,200 acres, but about half of it's woods, and it's just really hard to hunt. So we're recommending that people stick to the 600 acres of field. That is mostly pasture land.
Now, I'm curious, is this one owner that owns all this, or do you have to coordinate it amongst multiple owners?
No, this is one owner.
Wow, that's a lot of history to have on your property.
Yes, we was very fortunate, and when we approached him for this, he was all for it. And every time I see him, he goes, we still have that place up on the ridge, Bush's Homestead, that we didn't even know was there. He said, you go up there and check out that cellar hole. Well, okay, I'll put that down on the map. So, we don't even know where all the places are on this yet.
So because you at least know a lot of these places are somewhere on the property, will you be, as it gets closer, giving the attendees some sort of a map of the grist mill was kind of in this area? Because 600 acres is a lot to just walk around.
It is. Friday at the pre-meeting, we will have maps, and we will hand everybody a map, and we'll have on there everything that we know.
And then you have a bunch of vendors there coming. I know specifically Noaked is coming, which is the reason we're able to come. And I had heard that around the corner, there's another event, not detecting, that there's going to have a whole bunch of vendors for that too. And it's going to almost be like a giant, like a circus going on.
Well, it's possible. Now, our senior beta club is actually doing a fundraiser also in the city. they are going to nationals, and they have vendors coming in, and they're going to have an auction, and there'll be several hundred people come to that also.
That's going to be amazing. Let me, I don't want to cut you off, but I did get a super chat from Shane Geary. I didn't forget about you, Shane. He said, Charlie looks like the character from the movie Up. And he does. We actually had a picture that Eric from Ultimate Finds Box created. I don't have it in front of me, but I'll show it to you. But thank you, Shane. And you're 100% right. He does. Now, one of the other interesting things, Mitch, that, you know, total coincidence, but when I was trying to find lodging down there, the weekend of the hunt happens to also be the same weekend of some crazy, like, total solar eclipse.
An eclipse, yes, not just a partial, a total solar. It could get dark out there at 1:30 in the afternoon is when this is going to happen on Monday. So if people would like to stick around for that extra day, come on, Greenville's going to have a function, and you can eat barbecue with us.
But not only that, though, Mitch, but when I looked at a map, apparently when there's a solar eclipse, like the sun goes over the United States. That's why I have a little map here. So let's say it goes over right here.
Yes.
So if you live up here, you see it from an angle. So it doesn't totally cover. It's a partial. But this little town in Greenville is right in the middle of this magic zone. So half the country is converging to your area for this weekend. It's going to be madness.
Let's just hope it's not cloudy. You know,
Yeah.
That's a horrible thing to say, but you know, there's a chance.
Well, I didn't even think about that. We're going to have to see.
All these people coming from several different states on our little community, and let's just hope the sun shines.
No, I'm pretty excited. Now, the event was called the ShowMe Pro Am because there was two different signups, one that said pro and one that said amateur. I've gotten a lot of emails from people saying, hey, I'm new. Can I handle the pro part? And I think it's just a matter of there's no skill involved with the pro or the am. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's just the amount of days that you want to hunt. If you hunt for 2 days, you can call yourself a pro. And if you want to hunt for one, well, we're going to consider you an amateur that day. But there's no difference. Same ground, everything.
Not only that, but I think if you can go to any place after people have gone through it and find things, you are more of a pro, because it's easy to find stuff when you're cherry picking. It's a little harder when you got to slow down and go over other ground that people have walked over.
That's true. But on the second day, we have some fields set aside, seated just for that day. So,
oh, really?
Yes.
So what is your schedule as far as the times? Like, are the seated hunts scheduled throughout Saturday and Sunday, or are they random? How are you working that?
Well, Saturday, we're going to start at 8 o'clock. And we're hoping that everyone goes to the seated area, but they don't have to. And it'll go to about 11, and we'll have lunch. There's no time that you have to leave the field to do the natural. If you want to go, we've got our basketball team or the Beta Club is going to provide transportation for someone that wants to go to the grist mill or wants to go to the sawmill or the picket site. We'll have transportation for them.
Oh, so they could hang out in the seated portion all day if they want to?
Yes, sir, they can.
Oh, or they can mix and match and and go.
If they're not having any luck at field number 3 and they decide they want to go to the old cellar hole, we've got transportation for them. We're going to have designated spots that people can come to, kind of like a bus stop. And we will have transportation. We'll have someone come along in the side by side and pick them up and run them up there.
So you have like a golf cart that comes by, and the golf cart has a sign that says grist mill or John Wilkes Booth graveyard.
No, you'll hold up your sign and say, I want to go to the picket site. You go, oh, well, that's stop number 3, and that's what they'll do.
That's great, though. I mean, 600 acres is a lot. When we used to go to some of the big hunts, like the old Pound the Grounds, Charlie, up in New York, I mean, if you wanted to go from one field to another, it was tough. You had to go back to your car. You had to drive over, try to find parking. You wasted a whole hour trying to move around. To have in the hunting field itself transportation to move people around, I hope they appreciate that. That's a heck of a time saver.
I got tired. I got tired carrying Doug on my back.
Doug's heavy. Doug is heavy. And then you said you have new fields set aside just for Sunday specifically.
For Sunday, we have 4 fields set aside for Sunday and 4 for Saturday. Yes.
Now I have the flyer, which I had in Tuesday's video. I can't bring it up here in the show, the flyer. I do have a link in the description of this live stream as well as Tuesday's video. As of this moment, you still have some tickets available, right?
We do, but not very many. I believe we're going to stop at 200 participants, and we're at 180 now. So after this show, you better get on the ball if you want to come to it.
Well, get in there. Like I said, Doug and I are both going to be down at the Show Me Hunt. Doug detects more than I do. I walk around and talk to everybody, see what they find. I try to get a video out of what everyone else found. So if you're there and I'm walking around, I'm going to come up to you. And if you found anything remotely cool and you don't mind, you're going to be the video that week, because it's easier for me. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see the kind of things that we don't even have a chance up here. We're mostly colonial up here. To be able to have an opportunity for, Civil War military, bullets or buttons or things like that. I don't even care if I find it. I would love to see someone find some interesting things and be there to film it. So I'm really stoked.
Well, I'm hoping someone finds something. The potential for it is there. And there's other things that happened in our area that could really lead to something great. The first train robbery in Missouri was by Jesse James right here, And we have Fort Benton, which was a Union fort, and it's just right up the road, and Old Greenville, which they ended up moving the town because of flooding. It had 6,000 Confederate troops in it at one time. And Grant had in his memoirs, right before he got his promotion to lead the North, of him saying, I'm going to Greenville to run out the bushwhackers. And he was on his way. So in our little bitty county, we've had 2 presidents there. One of them was Truman and one of them was Grant. And Grant came there to run out the Confederates.
Wow.
A lot of history.
Yeah, I'm really stoked, Charlie. I'm really stoked. I've been to Missouri once to detect a few years back with Plugmaster Ford, and I didn't get my Civil War bullet there, but we found some good stuff. The people, and I always say this everywhere, the people were so friendly. I've yet to go to a town where that was like, man, those people sucked. I ain't going back there. Like most places are really friendly, and Missouri was right on par. I love all the different aspects of what could possibly be at this field. I really do hope you sell it out. Mitch, how much is the event? Can people, and you said people can sign up for just one day or both days. And I think there was a meet and greet also, was there not?
Yes, we're having a meet and greet Friday in the Greenville City Park at 5:00. And to hunt one day, it's $125. If you want to hunt both days, it's $200.
If you're going to hunt one day, it would behoove you to hunt Saturday. Why there's less.
That's true.
The meet and greet is at the park, and I think was there going to be like food trucks and things like that at the meet and greet?
We're doing our best to get them. Yes.
Yeah, it's a and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is your first time doing an event, at least of this size.
Oh yes, this is our first annual. This is our first time doing a metal detecting event, and I'm with the Chamber of Commerce, and we was looking for some way to do a fundraiser, and because I had been to Kadoha and I saw how they did theirs, and that's where I met you at, Jason.
Yeah,
and I talked them into having this. So
I'll tell you what, I've been to a lot of events over the years. I've been to a lot that were ran really well, and a lot that could need some work. A lot of times when it's a first timer doing an event, there's hiccups in the way. But I got to say, man, every time I look at what's going on, I'm really impressed that you have your ducks in a row. You kind of anticipated problems, and I think it's going to run really smooth. So kudos to you. I'm just hoping we have some good weather. I know there's going to be some good people, and I can't wait to see some awesome things in the ground.
It'll be fun. I couldn't do it without my wife. If she wouldn't have got on board, I would have really struggled.
Is your wife there?
She's not. She is at a beta function tonight, an awards banquet for our daughter who's in this. So.
Oh, okay. Now, I had also heard, I hear a lot of things. I get a lot of whispers on my ear. I heard that you had seeded some of the seeded fields already a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
But as more people are signing up, you're going back and adding more. How much
have to.
percentage of the money is going back into the seededs?
100% of the money from the tickets will go back into the ground.
Oh my
for
goodness, that's
this.
amazing.
Wow.
And we're going, the Beta Club will get their money from selling raffles, and we've had them do our food. So that's how they're going to get their money. So hopefully people will buy a raffle ticket and everyone will be happy.
That's really challenging. I mean, 100% back in the ground is incredible. You're going to have seeded fields throughout the day. Seeded, if you're not a metal detectorist, means that there's going to be areas where Mitch and his helpers are going to purposely bury things that are meant to be found. It's just kind of like you're shooting fish in a barrel, but it makes it exciting, gives you a better chance to find things. And then the majority of the field is natural, which means just like what we do every single week, the history is there, all sorts of activity in the past, but you got to hope you find it, hope you swing over it, hope you get it cool. That's what the hobby really is. So you kind of get both with this. You get the closer to shore thing with the seeded hunt, but yet the surprise and the excitement of those natural digs where any hole could be the next awesome thing. Rich, I know you're probably jealous that you're not going to this one.
I was gonna say, it sounds like I wish we lived closer to.
Oh, hold on. I might have Doug in here. Let me see. I do. Look at that. Look who makes an appearance,
There
Mitch.
he is.
Dog tag Doug.
Doug.
Do I look good?
You look good for a half an hour late. Yeah, you look good.
I had technical difficulties.
I figured you did. But and listen, hey, Doug's on vacation. I appreciate you. You even took time out of your day, and thank your wife for me for even allowing you to hang out.
We've
with
had
boys.
a busy week so far, and we've done everything we wanted to do. So
Yeah,
I
real
have
busy
some
week.
time.
Every time I look on Facebook, you got another big bass in your hand.
I borrow them from people. Yeah,
Can I take
What?
a picture with your fish?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Doug, I don't know if you were able to hear while you were messing with your phone, but we had a bunch of information from Mitch regarding the ShowMe Pro-Am hunt.
I did.
I don't know if you had any questions specifically because you've never detected, to my knowledge, in that area.
No.
Do you have any questions for Mitch? And I'm going to kind of look over at the chat and see if they had any questions.
Yeah, Mitch, is it going to rain while we're there?
It's not those. Yeah.
Oh, Mitch may have lost his.
I saw he had an issue earlier. There he is.
All right. He's moving around. He might be having a Wi-Fi issue. Now, Doug, you do know that if it does rain, dog tag Doug goes away and the Hazmatador comes out.
Absolutely. I have to. Well, that's why I want to find out if we could expect rain. Do I have to bring my goofy outfit for the Hazmatador?
Doug, I don't think the Hazmatador has made an appearance in a video in a couple of years.
Not for quite a while. We haven't had any real winter weather. That
Mitch is gone. I'll see if he pops back in again.
Okay.
And for anyone that's new to the channel, I mean, if you're that new, Doug, the man of 1,000 nicknames, when it rains, Doug puts on this outfit from his old, deep sea fishing days, where he's got bright orange pants, a bright orange waterproof jacket, and he looks like a combination of a street traffic cone and a rodeo clown.
And the Gorton fisherman.
So I call him the Hazmatador.
Yeah.
But really, I'm the fool because he's dry all day and I'm soaking wet.
We got a funny comment here from The Swing. They say that Doug is either tanner or his mustache is getting whiter.
No, I got a pretty good. I got a pretty good burn already, and we went to the Phillies game today and ended up getting that sunscreen in my eyes. So if it looks like I'm crying, I'm really not. I'm just trying to get my eyes back into good shape. But I did get a little sun.
Yep.
And Rich, just so you know, he does dye his mustache white. It's a fresh dye job.
Yes.
I'm going to see if Mitch comes back. I mean, I had him scheduled till 7:50. We're only 4 minutes out. But if he doesn't come back, I'll make sure I, have the information, like I said, in the description. Doug and I are going to be down there. Doug actually wanted me to ask Mitch if Doug could. I always joke when we go to an event, Rich, that Doug's going to set up a kissing booth, and I just kind of say for cheap laughs. Doug comes up to me last weekend and he goes, I've been thinking about it. What if I really did do a kissing booth and whatever money I get goes to charity? And I was like, well, Doug, I don't know if you really want people coming up and kissing you.
And maybe the medical bills for the lip fungus I might get. So.
Yeah, who knows? She's like, why don't you talk to Mitch about the kissing booth? I'm like, what if I don't, Doug? What if
Doug,
I leave it as a joke?
I just got an idea. You could put, instead of kissing people, put red lipstick on, and you can kiss things for people, like you're signing them. It'll be red lips,
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to give that some thought.
Make it just get big.
Or Rich, what if we do a waving booth where people walk by and Doug waves?
or a hug, maybe a hug.
All right. Why do you want to touch everybody so bad?
Oh, I'm needy.
It's creepy, Doug.
I'm a creep.
He's a creeper.
Creeper.
Mark Thomas says, how much will Doug be paying at the booth?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, even if we don't have an official kissing booth, I guess if anyone wants to kiss Doug, you can donate $1 to your local. We donate to the Children's Hospital, which is a big one up here. You pick a charity, Doug, and if they donate, maybe Doug will give you that hug after all.
Well, we like the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, it's okay. And I was thinking about maybe doing something, and whatever was accumulated, we could just send to them. But, maybe everyone could just look in their heart and make a donation to them on their own.
I'll tell you another thing too, Doug, talking about donations. I mentioned it years ago and kind of forgot, but did you know that when people find those pull tabs that every detectorist finds,
right,
you can donate the pull tabs to Ronald McDonald House because they actually make money. I think they resell them. And
Really?
Ronald McDonald House, if you're not familiar with it, is a children's hospital charity
in
where,
Philadelphia.
like, let's say you had a child that was sick. Ronald McDonald's puts, the child gets the free health care, and they put the entire family up in lodging because a lot of times they have to fly kids in from out of state.
Right.
It's a really good charity. So any detectorists out there, save up those pull tabs. I donate mine every year. Now, we don't find a ton of pull tabs. At least I don't, because I'm a really good detectorist, Doug.
Yeah, you keep singing your praises.
But if anybody out there is slightly under my level and finds a lot of them,
Yes.
look it up. I'm telling you, Ronald McDonald House, you already got them anyway. Rather than throw them away, that's a heck of a worthy cause.
Now, interestingly, on the legend, and we've all come to realize this, the pull tabs come up in that 32, 33 range. And on the field that we've been hunting recently, and everyone's been watching the videos of, that 32, 33 could translate into a beautiful button or a silver cob from the 1600s.
It was our favorite signal in that field.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, the good thing is on this particular field, we don't find a lot of pull tabs.
Yeah.
So we're really eager to dig that number or that signal.
Even with the houses, we didn't find a lot of pull tabs.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't get a ton of pull tab. The farms we do, a lot of them are, predate pull tabs. And then when we do houses, a lot of the houses we do, they're just not super trashy. So
right.
I don't get a ton of pull tabs, but there's guys that detect it, like, the parks or the beach. And I know people find pull tabs out the wazoo. Mm-hmm. Put them in a bucket, donate them once a year.
Yeah.
It's a heck of it. It might even be a tax write-off. I don't even know, but they're going to benefit from them. So why not?
If you're a good detectorist, you're going to take it and put it in your pouch anyway. Yeah. So if you can turn that into a benefit, like you just explained, Jason, then everybody should give it a try.
Hold on, Mitch is back. We're gonna wrap it up with Mitch. but I'm at least bring him back so he can say goodbye. I guess you had some technical difficulties, Mitch. That's okay.
We're having a pretty good spring storm right now, so
That's okay. But I mean, luckily, I think at least you put the information out, and I know it. So when people email me, now I can regurgitate that. I didn't realize that the seated hunts were going to be open all day long, which is really fun. I didn't realize you were saving fields specifically for Sunday, which is going to be really cool. And I'm really excited. I know Doug's excited. We finally found lodging because that all the people coming in for the eclipse, it was tough to find lodging. We finally got some. Now Doug's got to sleep on the floor, but you know what? Hey,
you sleep where you got to sleep. He looks like he's got a sunburn.
He's like Larry the Lobster.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But Mitch, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We're going to be in touch, I'm sure, between now and we see you in, I guess, only like 3-4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that.
It's not very long. Yeah. It's going to be here before you know it.
Well, thank you for coming on. Get back out to that field and seed some more stuff. And we will see you, my friend, in about 3 weeks.
All right. It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Mitch.
Bye, guys.
That was Mitch. Super nice guy. Doug, we met him. Do you remember where we met Mitch? You were there.
Was it at the Arkansas hunt?
Yeah, it was at the Kodaha hunt.
I can never remember that word. So
Yeah,
I go with Arkansas. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going back to that one this year too. We'll talk about that much later. I think that's in like October.
October, yeah.
And I'm going to see if I can get Rich to that one too, because it's at a Native American, like it's Native stuff everywhere. There's even like a giant museum, and Rich likes the Native stuff more than anyone that I've ever met before. So I think he would really enjoy it. You know, not that I don't enjoy it, but he's got a much deeper appreciation than I do. All right. Well, we got about 6 minutes, and then I'm going to bring in Robert, who is organizing the Come Out Swinging Hunt, that as we divide and conquer, Charlie and Rich are going to be going to that hunt. Now, we've done that before as a group several times. It's just the timing of this was kind of tricky, so we have to split up. So we'll bring him in a few minutes. I do see him in the waiting room. He has to do it from the car. So if his signal comes out, I took a photo of him that I'll bring up so at least you can see, because he's a handsome guy, Doug. He's a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Even if you want to go to the hunt just to look at Robert's handsome face. Let me go through the chat for a little bit, Doug. So I got a couple minutes in between. I do see Bells is there. I know Bells comes to the stream just for you, Doug. I'm sure she's excited.
I'm sure she doesn't, but
and we're going to see her. I think Bells is Bells going.
She says she's going to Missouri.
All right, good.
Her
Great
and her
people.
husband, yes.
She will have a cameo. Eric Heltzer says, bring Rich and Lynn to DTH Spring Hunt.
Oh.
I'd love to, Eric. It's tough. You know, when we go to a lot of these hunts, Nokta picks up the tab, which is very nice of them. But I feel bad saying, well, can you pick up the tab for my 9 buddies too? You know, like I try to be not too greedy. So I try to book 2 of us for the Kodaha. I'm going to try to do 3 of us. I don't want to be a total jerk out there, but I would love to. I'm sure he would have a great time. And we might even have them on too. Casey and Mindy for that Detecting the Heartland. Great people there.
Out West metal detecting. Thank you.
Oh yeah, out West. I think I did the joke last time where I said, I wonder where he's from. Remember? Thank you, Out West Detecting. And maybe he can make it to Missouri. Would you consider Missouri West, or is that like Central?
Absolutely. It's West.
It's west of us.
Well, that's not saying much.
Yes.
I can throw a rock and hit the ocean out my back door.
Midwest.
If you ever go to St. Louis, the Arch is the gateway to the West.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. You're digging it. Metal Detecting is in the chat. Smoking Louie, Muddy Relics. Joe Holland. Look at that. Just Silver Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Each
Joe.
week I try to watch the stream back just to look for any problems. And
I
noticed,
can't see it on my phone.
That's okay. You can just listen to the sound of my
That's
voice
what I'm doing.
like any other day.
Yeah.
But I always miss Joe's comments, and I'm glad I got them. Joe Holland, you guys have seen Joe, Just Silver Joe, and recently Just Silver Joe Jr.
Yeah, he's outperforming his dad.
Yeah, well, he's got youth on his side, Doug. That's the key. Youth
What's
on the side.
Didn't you give him a nickname?
Yeah, we did. We called him. He found like 3 or 4 Crodal bells.
Jingle something?
Jingle
No. Mr. Joe Jangles.
Mr. Joe Jangles. Yeah, that's what it was. Mr. Joe Jangles.
Oh, and I hear that song in my head.
Me too. I don't even know if Big Joe knows that we nicknamed Little Joe Mr. Joe Jangles.
Yeah, Mr. Joe Jangles.
We haven't seen Little Joe since then.
That was donated by a viewer. So
it was.
I can't remember who, but it was pretty funny.
When I saw that nickname,
like that.
Doug, I mean, game over. That was it. You know what I mean? That was a good one.
I saw a good one in this week's video for Lynn. It was Lynn Tiquity or something like that.
What?
Lynn Tiquity?
Yeah.
Lynn Tiquity.
Yeah. Like antiquity, Lynn Tiquity.
We had a couple of really funny ones for Lynn. It's just that a lot of the Lynn ones are like super tongue twisters.
Yeah.
Like I had one that was the statuesque Lynn Bertie, which is really funny, but that's such a mouthful. And then what was the other one, Doug? It was a really funny one was Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. And listen, we hunt with her son. Is Rich really going to call his mom Abraham? Come on, guys.
I don't call you Quarter Hoarder. So.
That's true. That's true. Oh, free bridge metal detecting. Thank you for the super chat, my friend.
I gotta say, speaking of nicknames, I really like what people are calling Charlie now. I'm sure you've both seen it.
I have a couple for when we get to the show later. There was a couple. There was one specifically for when he found this, Rich.
Yeah, that's
which we're going to talk about later.
It sounds like a good name to go in your list of names in the beginning of.
I'm going to show some later. Doug, if you don't remember this Tuesday's video, Charlie found that.
Yes, I remember distinctly.
But we will get
you
to
didn't
that
forget
later.
about that?
I don't want to put the cart before the horse because it's 8:00. I want to bring in our next guest. Let me bring him in here. And this is. There he is. He's dark, but he's still handsome. This is Robert Thiessen. Now, Robert is the organizer for the Come Out Swingin' Hunt. He's doing one the same weekend as our hunt, April 6th and 7th, in the Boyerstown, Pennsylvania area. I think it's maybe the next town over, but in that general area. He calls the spring one the Spring Fling. And I wanted to get some information from Robert about the area, some of the smaller seated hunts and games that he does. And he does some really cool things for the kids too. So Robert, give me the skinny on the hunt. What do people want to know to get them out there?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Jason, and everybody else on the crew. I mean, nobody can speak about the area better than Charlie because this is where Charlie's born and raised and spent a lot of years teaching, and he knows every farmer. I call Charlie the mayor of everywhere around here. He knows everyone and everything. But yeah, Come Out Swinging. This is our 8th event. We started in 2020. Last year and the 3 previous years, we did 2 events, a spring fling and then a fall frolic. Over the years, the event has, evolved into what it is today. And there's a lot of additional things that go along with Come Out Swinging. As you mentioned, Jason, there's our, we've done Joker Poker in the past. We have our Relic Relay. We have our Game of Tones.
That's my favorite name, Robert, the Game of Tones.
You like Game of Tones? I give full credit to Sean Keller, who's one of our club members, for coming up with that. He was kicking around what names to call his Facebook page. And I said, well, if you don't use that, I'm stealing it. So props to Sean Keller for coming up with that. But yeah, all the events, it's, you pay for registration, but our seated hunt, the Game of Tones, the Relic Relay, all that stuff is just included in the event. There's no additional charges for that, but prizes are awarded to everyone who participates.
Yeah, and you and besides all the games and the activities and the seated areas, the event itself is held on a colonial area, natural hunting, right in Charlie's backyard. And if anyone sees the stuff that we find, almost on a weekly basis, all that stuff can be found at Robert's Hunt and has been. The last one you did in the fall, we were able to go on Saturday. I couldn't go back on Sunday. And wouldn't you know it, on Sunday, someone found a George Washington inaugural button.
Yeah. I was listening to the after show, I guess last week, and I heard Charlie say, everybody's been finding GWs on my permissions except for me. And, Charlie was instrumental in securing that location for us. So, when he said that last week, I felt really bad about it. But also at the same time, really glad that someone who came to our event was able to save that history. So thank you, Charlie, and congratulations to Andy for that great find. But you're absolutely right. The farm we'll be on this time is a farmhouse that was built mid 1800s. We know that there was a log home on the property prior to that. We know that there's farms in the immediate area from the 1700s. Anybody who's registered for the Come Out Swinging event or a member of the Come Out Swinging Facebook page also knows that this farm is about a stone's throw away from a Lutheran church that served as a Revolutionary War field hospital that holds a very famous painting of Wash overseeing the troops coming into that field hospital, one of the campaigns. Wow. Not far from Camp Potts Grove either. So it's a very historic location, but it's like this. It's like fishing, right? That's why some people call it dirt fishing. We can secure the location, but we can't promise what you're going to find, right? It is a natural hunt. We do have 106 acres. It's along a historic creek in a historic area on a historic property. But we never know what we're going to find when we start swinging the coils.
Well, that's the part of the hobby that goes for anyone. If you can secure land that has history and the potential, that's the best guarantee you're going to get. And then you go boots on the ground, you go out and you kind of try your luck. But if that history is there, you have a chance. And what I like mostly about these events is the camaraderie and the friendships you're going to make, the people you're going to meet, the people that go to your hunt, Robert. And I think we were actually at your first one 8 events ago. A lot of the same people go to every single event because once you meet other like-minded people, you kind of stay friends with them forever. You kind of come into the in crowd. So it's an experience of not only a chance to find some amazing things, but you're going to make some great friendships that might last a lifetime because not a lot of people do what we do. So when we find each other, we tend to kind of stick together. So that's almost like a bonus you get when you go to these events.
That's why I like going. I want to go whether I find stuff or not. I love talking to the people, and you get to know some of them after a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we've had a lot of people say like coming to Come Out Swinging is like a family reunion. You're right. Like there's a lot, I would say maybe a good core group of 35 or 40 people who have been to almost every event. They stay at the same hotel every time. They celebrate birthdays and anniversaries together while they're at the hotel, ice cream cakes and, bourbons and, whatever else you want to use to celebrate. But it is. And then we have, we formed relationships where, now these people are traveling out of state or to other parts of the state to hook up with these people who come to our event and go to tech together on the weekend. Or on vacations, or they travel together and go places. So, I feel like we've done a little bit of a service to the hobby by introducing these people in the right environment, right? I feel like it's safe, it's constructive. We're very, and Charlie can attest to this because I borrow his side-by-side all the time. We ride around, we collect trash, we monitor our attendees. We make sure the people are digging plugs properly and filling holes back in, and we're collecting trash. And saving history. That's what it's all about. Nobody's there to become rich or famous. They're there to make friends, have a good time, and save some history, which is, it's a fundraiser for a historical society. And that's the mission statement, saving and sharing history.
Yeah, I didn't get into that yet, but yeah, Robert's hunts are part of the, and you know better than I, it's part of the Boyertown Historical Society. It's a fundraiser for the Boyertown Historical Society. Is that correct?
That's correct. So the first time I proposed this to the Historical Society was I heard that their building needed a new roof. And I had detected years ago, I had just moved to a new community. I'm very actively involved in volunteerism. So I thought, well, there may be a way I can help them. My brother-in-law frequently attends detecting events down in Virginia, the Civil War events. And he told me about those and how, I pay and I go and this is what we do. And I thought, well, that's a fundraising idea in my mind. We could propose this to the Historical Society. So I had somebody from York County who was working with our Historical Society come in. They helped me make the pitch. And it kind of fell flat, not because of their efforts, but just because of who we were presenting it to. But about 2 years later, there was a significant change in the board membership. And one of the attendees at the first presentation became the president. And she approached me and she said, I saw that and I really like the idea. Would you come in and present again? I think we could do this. So I went back in and we presented. And that's how Come Out Swinging came about. And, we helped raise enough money after 2 events to put a new roof on the building and protect a historical building in Boyertown. And I'd like to think that our efforts since then have gone to preserving a building that Charlie's very familiar with, which is Bear's Mill, which is originally a linseed manufacturing mill from the 1700s that was repurposed into a spindle spoke and bat mill.
Charlie worked there as a teenager.
Charlie did work there as a teenager. His initials are carved in the boards up there. But through the efforts of the Come Out Swinging events, we were able to help the society, and they now own that mill, though. So they've saved that history as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beat that with a stick, Doug. I mean, you get people to go out, do what they love. They get to meet other people, and the money they're getting is saving this history for future generations that otherwise would just totally be gone.
It's a win-win in every direction.
And one of the things, too, that Robert does, and I don't know if he's doing it this time, I've seen him do it in the past, is they have a really good kids hunt that the local kids come in and they have their own little game they play. Are you doing it for the spring? And can you speak on what that is?
So yeah, the Kids Coin Hunt has become so big, it's now its own event. So we host a separate event just for the kids as part of Earth Day now. So when we started the first Come Out Swinging in 2020, we opened it up to the general public to come and learn about detecting and see what we were finding and the history we were saving. And I think we had like 3 people show up, a mom and 2 kids. So it was a little underwhelming. And then at the next event, we advertised a prize garden where somebody could come and work with the dealer representative on site and use some of the equipment, find a target in the ground, which ultimately became our Brass in the Grass activity. You find a brass token, you take it in, it's got a number stamped in it, and you get the prize associated with it. And we may have had 5 or 10 people show up for that. But eventually, the Kids Coin Hunt became so big that it was almost unmanageable at the event. We were running it from 2 o'clock in the afternoon, noon on Saturday to 4 p.m. on Saturday, and from noon to 2 on Sunday. And the last time we ran it as part of the Come Out Swinging, we had over 100 kids from the community go through that. So then we realized it's become its own event. So we coordinated with Earth Day in Boyertown Park, and now we offer the Kids Coin Hunt with Earth Day in Boyertown Park. And I'll tell you, the time frame that we have is significantly less. The first year we did 75 kids. Last year we did 115 kids came through the metal detecting thing. And that is in between the hours of 11 and 3. So imagine teaching over 100 kids about metal detecting, helping each one of them find 2 to 3 targets, handing out prizes, entering them into a raffle where they can win, one of 4 metal detectors that we raffle off in that 4-hour period. So it's bang, bang, bang. It's very exciting. But, everybody who volunteers for that event loves it because they love seeing, a kid pulls a 50, a $50 or a silver dollar or a Civil War bullet out of the ground and their eyes just light up. It's just amazing.
It's like magic. It's still like magic to me. I'm a grown man. I imagine a kid, pulling something out of the ground. when we were at the last come out swinging we went to, Doug, I remember I walked over to the kids section, where they hold the kids event.
Yep.
You would have thought they were in line to see Hogwarts Castle. There was like 100 kids with their parents. And I was like, what? I can't believe he's drawing this many people. Like he said, all throughout the community. It's the biggest event I've ever been to that does so much for the children there.
Yeah.
And it really just puts detecting in a good light in the entire community, because oftentimes metal detectorists aren't always in a good light. One bad apple and that story goes all over how they dug here or left a hole here. So when you can get a good story like that, where he does so much for the kids and the community and the historical society, the whole event is a real winner. So I'm really happy to be supporting it. And like I said, unfortunately, Doug and I can't be there, but Charlie and Rich are going to come. Nokta was nice enough to send some equipment. I'm happy to say that they can give some more things away, because I want to see Robert's event grow even bigger, because it's been in good hands since day one.
Well,
I'm really
we
excited.
Appreciate the support. Yeah, and I think we got the better part
Super
of the deal. And I
excited.
didn't mean to cut you off, Rich, but we got
worries.
Rich and Charlie. So I mean, let's be honest. I don't have Doug.
And Rich and
One of
Charlie
us
aren't
is
trying to
gonna
kiss all your attendees too, Robert.
That's right. Doug running around glad handing everybody, So, but yeah, the Nokta support is fantastic. We appreciate that. And then just kind of speaking a little bit to what you said there, Jason. One of the things that we do is we limit attendance based on the size of the property that we have. So we sell out every year at 100. Like I said, this year we've got 106 acres, but we'll never have more than 100 registered detectorists. I want everybody to, obviously there's roads and there's barns and there's houses and there's equipment, so, you don't have a true 106 acres, but I want everybody to feel like, I've got an acre of my own. If I really need to, I can go detect. And nobody should ever be on top of anybody else. There's plenty of space.
So it's 105 acres. 106 minus the house and the barn.
It's actually, it's 96.7 if we want to be technical.
Yeah, Rich is nitpicking. Every event, and I don't want to put any pressure on Robert. Every event I've been to, I've seen some incredible old coins come out of there. I've seen cap busts. The last event I was at with Hollywood Joe, I think Joe himself found a real, if I'm not mistaken. The guy found the George Washington button. I always see large cents. Of course, there's no guarantee, but if you like metal detecting and you love the opportunity to find something that hasn't been touched in hundreds of years, Robert's area is great. He's right in the suburbs of Philadelphia, about maybe an hour or so, if that, from Philadelphia. So if you have nothing to do, come on out. I'm telling you, you're going to have a great time. You get to meet Rich and Charlie. You get to find some awesome things, and you get to help out the whole Boyertown Historical Society and save some history along the way. Whew, a lot of talking, Robert.
I'm looking very
forward to it. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there again, Rich, and we appreciate you coming out. And again, thank you to the entirety of the crew for all the support over the years, whether it's, attending the events or getting the word out about the events, or, now our new relationship with Nokta. We appreciate that very much. It means a lot to us.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to help a little bit. You're doing the heavy lifting, Robert. It's all on you. But I wouldn't have put them in connection if I thought you weren't a stand-up, up-and-up guy running a heck of a good event. So I'm proud to say that they're even with you.
Well, that's high praise. We appreciate it.
May I say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, let me kick him out.
I hear that all the time, but I speak anyway. Everyone wants to know how our group always seems to find old colonial coins and relics from that era. Well, that's because we live in an area that is fraught with colonial items, and we put ourselves on those types of properties. Well, that's exactly what Robert is doing for those who are going to join in on the festivities. He gets properties that are the same kind of properties that we love to hunt week in and week out. So if you want to find those colonial coins, not only American, but British and Spanish. Bob's property is perfect for finding those kind of those kind of items. So get out and join them.
Yeah, you got a shot. And even though you and I won't be there, Doug, a lot of the people in the chat who are YouTubers or just local detectorists are often at Robert's hunts. I don't know if they're definitely coming to this one or not, but Team Lynch is there a lot of the times. I saw Jersey History Hunters I see in the chat. She's often there. Hollywood Joe, Teresa, but she might be going to England this time. I'm not sure. A lot of the people that we all know are going to be there. A lot of YouTubers. It's a really fun time. Even if you didn't find anything amazing, you're going to have an amazing time, and you're really going to be happy that you did it.
Jason?
Yeah, there is a ton of, I mean, you know, if there was ever a natural disaster at one of our events, I think it would shut YouTube down because
it would cut the YouTubers by a third.
One shell got us all.
Yeah. In fact, when someone finds something to come out swinging, the guy can't even see it because he's surrounded by 90 cell phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we love having, I mean, Audra's come a bunch of times. You know, Team Lynch, you know, Audra's helped us secure some support in the past through Technetics. So yeah, we love our relationships with people like you guys, like Audra. I mean, I always go to my own event just to get my picture with Audra because she always takes such good pictures of me. So I don't know how she does it, but she manages to capture my good side.
You got two good sides. That's why, Robert.
Yeah.
Handsome devil with two good sides. Doug doesn't even have a third of one good side.
Yeah, well, my better days are behind me, and that is my better side.
Doug?
Yeah.
Well, Robert, I appreciate you coming on, man. Is there anything else you need to tell us about the event?
No, I just buy some long pants for Doug so we can cover up those knees, please.
You know what he does have. You know, Doug is known for wearing those flood pants where you always see like way too much shin.
Yeah.
KK Karen, who was in the chat, we hunted with her last week, and she bought all of us a pair of high knee SpongeBob SquarePants socks, which are still in my car. So when Doug gets back, he's going to have them on throughout the summer. I'm going to donate my pair to Doug. So all through the summer, Doug will at least have some good Squidward and Barry the Lobster socks on.
Nice.
I'm working on the tan right now, so it's not too sickening to look at.
Well, Robert, thank you much, man, for coming on. Like I said, there's links in the description of the live stream as well as Tuesday's video, and we're going to be mentioning it more up until the event. But it's the weekend of April 6th and 7th. There are still tickets available, Robert?
Just a couple. We are really close to being sold out again.
Get in there. You don't want to miss it, guys. You're going to regret it. Yeah, make sure you get in there. You're going to have a fun time, and Rich will be there. We'll get some signed pictures. Rich will give out stickers. You're going to meet a bunch of people. Link in the description. Go check it out. Come out swinging. Spring fling. Thank you for coming on, Robert. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Have a great night.
Have a good one.
Night.
All right, let me there we go. Doug, two guests, which I thought both had great information. I'm super excited to go to both of the events, you know, the group go to both of the events.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that I kind of kept the timeline going because you know I'm not good with the time management, Doug. I thought I'll talk to Mitch for 3 hours. I'll talk to Robert.
You're the Andy Reid of YouTubers.
Oh, I just go on and on and on. You know, when I edit my videos, Doug, most of the editing is editing me out, like the talking out. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot less of me lately. I think
well, you haven't been finding that much. You gotta get on it. It's been
Charlie's been a show stealer lately.
Oh, and wait till you see the next couple videos too. I mean, Charlie is not done yet. He is just getting started.
He'll never be on that property again, though.
Well, in the winter, maybe. Now, talking about that, Doug, since you brought it up.
Oh, thank you.
Let me do one of these. We're going to go into a little bit of the last 1 or 2 episodes because it's been a humdinger, Doug. I do want to say some hellos in the chat because I was talking to the guys. I missed out a little bit. FLX Detectorist is in there. Hot Mess Fishing, I got her earlier, but I'm getting her again. Show Me Treasure, which I think might be Mitch. I'm not positive. Free Bridge Metal Detecting, D-Technician, Frederick Romano, Silver King Vince, Jersey Ray Diggs, Dave Hart.
D-Technician is from Ireland.
Really, from Ireland?
Yes, he is.
I can't thank enough, when I show it in a minute, the incredible coin Charlie found that is thousands of years old, which is unheard of. I got so much help in the comments and from emails from our European friends over there from Ireland, England. I can't thank them enough. They have such good knowledge of that stuff that's way outside of our spectrum. So the technician, he may have been right in that mix. All right, let's get it started, Doug. I tried to make this a little faster so I don't have everyone, here all night. You know how it works. I try to show some of the cool pictures and comments from the last video or two. And then we're going to do the Guess Lynn's Thing game where someone's got a chance for a hat. Always appreciate when Lynn goes through all the hassle.
Yeah.
So,
well,
you
won't be wasting a lot of time on my finds. So
no, I think you had one. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And we're hanging out with 275 people right now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you to all 275. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look, Doug. I'm going to start this little thing here. Oh, and by the way, before I start it, the thumbnail, the thumbnail is the picture you use, and it was this one right here for the video. I kind of felt bad because when we took the thumbnail picture, it was actually me, Charlie. On the other side of Charlie was Rich.
Yeah.
And I had the picture ready to go, but I thought, you know what? It just looks better super zoomed in. And because we kind of were standing, a foot or two apart, if I zoomed in, it was cutting everything out a little bit. So I had to text Rich and say, sorry, Rich, I had to cut you out of the thumbnail.
Yeah, you just pulled me away from detecting for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you couldn't even get his feet in there.
I try to get Rich in, but you're in it. We got a really fun thumbnail coming up for Charlie's next incredible find.
Yeah, Charlie's next incredible.
Yeah.
I
can't even talk about it. The guy is just nuts. All right, let's start to see some of the cool things we got here.
I'm blushing.
Charlie got.
Well, the video started with your good find, Rich.
Yeah, that's true.
The comment we got on this one, there was a lot of comments on it. I chose one from Absolute Yalexa, if I'm pronouncing that right. Whenever we find a script initials like this on gold or silver, it's always a mystery what the heck it says because that calligraphy is tricky. Her guess was GHG, which coincidentally were her late father-in-law's initials. In the video, I thought I said that I thought it was GWG. Yeah. I'm curious in the chat, the one on the left is a little clearer. What do you guys think that piece says? And while they're doing that, and while they're making their guesses, Rich, you tested this piece, did you not?
I did. So the just as we thought, the part we're seeing now is gold, and the inside of the back is plated.
I have a picture of the inside of the back I'll show next. But I'm just kind of trying to go through. Muddy Relics also said GWG. That's what I thought, but I have a hard time. Turd Ferguson, GHG, Gary. I was going to say Gary Moron. That doesn't sound right. Gary Moran. Sorry, Gary. GWG. Gordon McCall, GHG. David.
I think it's GHG.
You see, I think I clearly see a W. I see like right here. Let me see if I can show it on here. Right, I see like a point.
Yes.
Where like a W would come up, but I'm terrible with this, so I don't know.
I think it's GWG.
Yes.
But I do see. It's easier to see on the left one. There's
with that line that goes through.
Oh yeah, over top it almost looks like there's a music note. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of those scripts are like swirly G clef looking music notes.
It's over top of everything. The swirl.
Yeah.
And I see the real big like ampersand looking sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure people know because they always tell me in the comments is when you see those three initials where the middle one is the larger.
That's the last name.
That's the last name. So if it was GWG, W would have been their last name. And then the third G was actually their middle initial backwards to kind of how we do it, today.
GGW.
Right. It would be GGW.
Jason?
In high school, Doug dated a girl named GGW.
Jason?
Yes.
My great-grandfather, I looked at his writing a lot, and his H, Harley, his H looked just like that.
So you're thinking it really could be an H then?
That's what I say. Just from my thing of my great-grandfather's handwriting for his name, Harley. The H.
Well, you could be right. I have a hard time with it. But in either way, it's beautiful. Rich did test it. It was indeed gold, at least the top. I'll show you the back. The next photo, I think, is of the back. There it is. You can see when we could tell that the back was plated, but the back was an insert inside the top. So it was actually two different pieces. The inside was plated. The outside was, what was the carat on the gold, Rich?
It's somewhere between 14 and 18.
All right, we'll call it 17.2. And Doug, that's Rich's fourth piece of gold in as many months.
Yes, he's on a gold tear.
If people don't know, when you're testing gold, you scratch a line with the gold on the special surface they give you. Right. And then you have a 14 and a 10. 18, a 10 and a 18 and a 24. Right. Whatever acid the line disappears on, that it's the carat is less than that.
Yeah.
So it disappeared on the 18 karat acid. So I know it's somewhere between 14 and 18 karat gold.
Right.
All right. That makes sense. I mean, I'm going to guess it's probably 14. I think they made a lot of jewelry out of 14, but I don't know. Either way, I mean, to find something that's gold is pretty darn impressive. So,
yes.
And D Technician, he said he can't help but see the ampersand now, GNG. Wasn't that an AC/DC song, Doug, in the 70s? GNG.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. But that started off the day. I think that was the very first find of the day was Rich's gold. I thought it was a cufflink. Lynn said that she thought it was the stick pin.
Stick pin.
Regardless of which one it was, super cool
gold.
Oh, and by the way, that was a terrible. I mean, think of the worst signal you've ever gotten. That's what that sounded like.
But only because we were at the field where we're finding the cobs and stuff from the 1600s that comes up all over. Yeah. That's one of those fields where you dig anything, repeatable or not, the number, who cares? You dig every single thing your machine makes a noise at.
But it was about 6 trips in before we realized we've got to focus on those low tones, those very scratchy, weird signals. 90% turned out to be something special.
Yeah.
Buttons or whatever.
And almost no modern trash. Very little.
No. Except up by the road.
Yeah, with some blow-in trash from the
that actually came from up by the road.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's why.
Exactly.
And actually, so did I think the next find. Let me see, was up by the actually 2 finds because I think I have one of Matt's next. Hold on. Yeah, this one was Matt's. This was a colonial knee buckle.
Knee buckle.
Now he found this in the hot spot in the back. So, but this wasn't by the road. But I think it was the only. No, someone else found a knee buckle, didn't they, Charlie? Did you find a knee buckle?
Yes, I did. I found it near the barn.
I remember. Yeah, I remember.
And I found one. Charlie and I both found one on the same day.
You braggart.
That's.
I know. I remember.
They're both real little.
Yeah, they're both tiny ones. But the next find was found by you, Doug, up by the road.
Yes, and it is definitely U.S. steel.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in the comments say U.S. steel, and when I put the videos up, when we all get together and are standing around a find, we might have 12 minutes of dialogue that we all just talk and make jokes and put guesses out. During all that, Doug did say U.S. Steel, but I have to cut the video down somewhat or they'd be 9 hours long. So during when Doug threw out the guess of U.S. Steel, I had to cut that part out because...
Yeah, and we really can't have Doug sound like he knows anything.
No, I have to make sure Doug always sounds like an imbecile.
Yeah, I was going to say, you cut out the one part he got it right. That's the part you decide to cut out.
But I'm giving credit where
under the
credit's
Mendoza line.
I am giving Doug credit, though. He did say U.S. Steel when we were there. It just didn't make the video. It hit the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Adrian Tucker asks, which S stands for steel?
Doug, which S?
It's the one that's in the middle. U.S. are the outside letters. Steel is the one in the middle.
Yeah, because the last one is the last name, right?
That's right. The middle one is the last name.
And what's funny, and I don't have a picture of the back of this, there was not only no shank on the back, but the back had like a real tight, cross, like hatch pattern.
Cross hatch.
Usually pattern. Buttons don't have. That's why I thought, well, there can't be a button. It looks like it's maybe like a cuff link or something like that. So, but I don't know. I guess it must be a button.
Okay.
Yes.
Free Bridge Metal Detecting said to leave off the last S for savings.
Yeah.
What was that commercial, Doug?
I remember it. I just don't remember.
I forget it. That's funny. I just can't remember. Leave off the last S for savings. Darn it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Doug. That might no. I think you do have another find coming up, Doug. So you
really?
You don't have to hang your head in shame.
What do we knock Charlie out for 5 minutes or what?
1-800-mattress. That's what it was, Doug.
Oh yeah.
Leave off the last S for savings.
That's right.
No, Charlie's not saying nothing now because he knows he's got a mouthful coming up.
Oh, he's going to be talking till the cows come home.
Let's see what else we got here, Doug. I didn't do any video this week, so I know that takes forever. Then we got on a couple of buttons, too. I put in this one from Team Steptoe. He said, hi from Scotland. I think Charlie's button is a thistle. And then he commented that a few videos back when I found a coin that I said KG2. Right. And we figured that out already, that was the Balby with a thistle.
Balby.
For some reason, Doug, and maybe it's because whatever goofy reason, the word thistle is not in my vernacular.
Yeah.
Every time I see, I guess, a thistle, the word thistle never even comes to mind.
That's because you don't want to sound like you're talking silly.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound like I have a lisp. So, Rich, from now on, whenever I find anything that could be a thistle, I need you to come over and say thistle.
Okay, yeah, I've dealt with thistle for years and years and years.
Yeah, I got to sound cool. You have to sound like you have marbles in your mouth. But no, Charlie found the first one there, which was a cuff size button from Scotland. Could be military, Charlie. Could be from the 1700s. I don't know. And I put in there because a few minutes later, I found the exact same button. And Mud Dog Mandy said thistle buttons, super important part. I'm paraphrasing. Super important part of the Scottish heraldry for 500 years.
Wow.
And Mud Dog Mandy, I believe, I could be wrong, I think is from overseas.
Okay.
Charlie, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, double thistle buttons. Could they have come off the exact same piece of clothing? Yes. Could be. They have the exact same border around the outside too. So could have come off of the same shirt. Rich, do we have thistle over here?
Everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Jason,
why do I not know the word then?
Jason.
You were I don't know. You were never a farmer or a landscaper or
the best
outdoorsman.
Yeah.
The best place to find thistles are in farm cattle pastures.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And
anywhere you don't want them to be, that's the best place to find them.
Yeah, I just don't know why that word is not like. So, is it a weed? Is it like a weed, Rich?
Well, depends who you ask.
I'm asking you. I said Rich.
It's a weed. I don't believe in weeds.
It's a weed.
But yes.
Technically.
To answer your question, yes.
Okay. Well, to me, it's a weed if you don't eat it, buy it to smell it, or do anything like that. You know, if it grows unwantedly.
Jason,
well, it has its benefits, though.
Yes, Charlie.
A weed, when you define a weed, it's a plant out of place. That's what a weed is. Any plant out of place. My family used to mow the thistles down. I told them stop doing it because it's a very essential part of bird feed.
Yep.
Thistle.
Oh.
Remember, Jay, I told you how to get the goldfinches in?
Doug, coincidentally, I was out back today because it was a nice day, setting up all my bird feeders. I had a red colored finch, a white finch, and a blue finch today, but no darn goldfinch.
Well,
It's not the time of year.
I'm getting closer.
It's still a little early.
I'm getting closer.
They're going to show up. Yep.
So I advocate do not kill thistles. They're a very important part of nature.
Yep.
All right.
Weeds all have a purpose.
Jay, did you ever hear the night before Christmas and all through the house? Well, there's a line in there about down on the thistle. Oh, shit. Now you got me down on a thistle.
Maybe you're right. I don't.
Look it up. I can't quote it, but it's a very common word that you should become familiar with.
All right. I'm going to move on from the thistle, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's do.
Let me see what else we got. I didn't want to spend a gazillion hours on here, but some more buttons that we got. I'm going to kind of fly through the buttons. This one I found, Rich. I don't know what the heck that image is. I wonder if there was more of the image and some of it kind of broke off, you know?
It does look like it's flaking off.
Yeah. That would have been a super cool one. I don't know what the heck it was, though.
That almost looks like a reverse of Charlie's Roman coin with the pointy crown type thing.
I don't know. I mean, that's what I pulled out of the ground, so I don't really know.
That's really interesting.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that would have been really cool. Whatever was on that looked really cool, I think.
It actually looks like a bust with a nose facing your fingertips.
See, I thought it looked like an eagle in the middle that maybe was falling apart. Like it could have been a military type of eagle button, and some of the design is like flaking off. I don't know.
Still interesting.
But whatever. While you guys were pulling amazing coppers all day, I was just in button mode. But
yeah,
I got some cool buttons, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me see what else we got. This one was my button too, this little cuff flower button. Probably 200 years old. This ball button that I got that had the counter sunk, you know, the shank was broken off but fell inside the button.
And I found one just like that. I didn't show it to you because I didn't think it was unique enough, but it looked exactly like that with the sunken in.
Oh, really?
Yes. I still have it.
It must have been like a brittle underside that maybe with a little bit of pressure,
it just collapses. Yeah.
And I put a little comment in from digging up the Carolinas. I love that flashlight. I also love that flashlight.
We all do.
And I don't get anything for plugging that flashlight. You know, I'm not like on the payroll, but and I don't even know if they make it anymore. I think it's been discontinued.
You're kidding.
I think. But it's called the Paron 2. I love it. It's expensive for a flashlight. It was like $100. I think it may have near the end before it got discontinued. I think it was down to like maybe 80, but it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. I think I'm done with the buttons. Now we dug. I have a list here, Doug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We dug 16 copper coins this day. We dug so many copper coins that 4 of them I took out of the video because it was too long. When you're cutting large coppers out of the video, you had a heck of a day.
Absolutely.
And not only coppers, but some amazing ones. Now, this one Charlie found, which is not amazing, but it was the first one, and I always put the first one in. So I'm going to kind of fly through these real quick, but Charlie got the first copper. It was indistinguishable. We didn't know what it was. This one was Matt's. Looks like a matron head large cent. This one, I don't even remember who got it. This was a drape bust large cent. There was 5 drape busts found this day. This was a drape bust half cent. Matt had 2 coppers here. The one on the left you can see is another drape bust, large cent. Don't know what the one on the right was. Along with
that one on the right looks like something unique, but we never.
We weren't able to get anything off of it, and unfortunately, a lot of times, as hard as we try and as magical as that O-light flashlight is, sometimes they're just too far gone.
And you know what? One interesting thing about this spot, one of the last coppers I dug there, rang up on the legend at 17. It just sounded so good, though, I couldn't pass it up. And because of the fact we've been finding really cool.
Don't say what it was yet, Doug. I don't think that video came out.
I'm not. But that just goes to show how you want to dig everything that you hear with a good, consistent signal. Because you're going to get something good. It may not be what you think it's going to be, but it's something good.
No, it's been, I can't say enough how this field's been the greatest field we've ever hunted on for quantity, quality, and age. All 3. And I'd like to say that we find really good stuff a lot because of the areas we hunt consistently every week for years. This was by far the best one of them all.
And it was a shot in the dark that it was going to produce anything.
Yeah, I think I told this. Did I tell the story last time, Doug?
I don't know if it's the last time, but I think you've told it.
I think I told it before.
But it bears repeating.
I won't. Yeah, I won't make everyone sit through that again.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Another drape bust large cent. Don't even remember who dug them because everyone was finding good stuff. Oh, Robert Dunn says, show some before and after pictures of your best coins once they're cleaned up. Yeah, Robert, I it's not that I don't want to do that, but see the problem I have with that and why I stopped doing wrap-ups even is because 5 or 6 of us go detecting, and believe it or not, we don't all live together. So each guy takes their own things home, and I never see it again. Now, maybe Rich will clean up his coins. Maybe Doug will over the course of weeks. Sometimes they might not clean them at all, depending on the coin and the condition. So if I waited to show the cleaned up coins at the end of the video, I'd put out 1 video a year. So it's challenging. So a lot of times we try to do a field cleaning to at least show what it is. And I'll put a picture of a clean version next to it. So people, whether you're into the hobby or not, can see, because sometimes it's, if you don't have a point of reference, you don't see the image. But I don't know if I can really get a cleaned up things because the timeline could be too long. Some things might not get cleaned up at all. Some might take months, and each guy's bringing their own things home. That's just a real challenge. But thank you for the question. Let me see what else we got here. This one looks like a classic head. It's funny because every time I know Rich dug this one, and I know because it's funny, every time Rich finds a classic head, it always throws him for a loop. He always thinks it's a braided or a matron head. And I wish I put a picture up of the classic next to it, is I always go by that elongated neckline.
Yep.
Now the classic heads, they didn't make very long. What did they make them, Doug? Like maybe 7 years, 8 years?
Yeah, it's only a few years, right?
So we don't find them very often because they were not made real long. But no, that's what Rich's is there. You can actually even see all the stars and everything like that. So, but when I told Rich it was a classic head, I remember like in the moment, he was like, "What? You're crazy." You know what I mean? Like, what you talking about, Willis? Like
there are times that I get them home and I'm like looking at the hair and I'm like, no, that's not.
Now in the video, Rich, I know I put a classic head next to it. When you watch the video, assuming you watch my goofy videos, are you able to see it when there's a side by side?
What's your channel called again?
It's called Big Bob's Detecting Stories. But no, I mean, I try to do that picture. I mean, not necessarily for you, but it's challenging because you're looking at a corroded, lumpy, nasty circle.
Yeah.
And, with that strategically aimed side light and with, I don't want to say a trained eye, like I'm like some fancy detective, but when you see the same coins over and over and over again, you can see the slightest little edge of the hair or the neck or the shoulder, and you're able to identify it. Not just me, probably 3/4 of the people in the chat. But it is challenging. It does take some practice. And I guess we don't find a lot of the classic heads because they didn't make them very long. So they always seem to like fool Rich where he thinks that they are the matron or the braided. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, because it's easy to see the face. It's the hair that can, on a crusty coin, it's hard to tell what the hair's doing.
Right.
Yeah. And some of these farm coppers are just not in the best shape. So, all right, let me see what else we got. This was Charlie's KG2, super nice. This was Matt's. 1845. I have a picture of the back in a second. Seated half dime. I think Matt said after I cut the cameras off, I think he said this is his first seated coin of any denomination ever.
I think it is.
Yeah, and I wish I would have known that while the cameras are rolling. I love, when it's a first of something like that. But after I turned the camera off, then he's like, "Oh, by the way, this is my first one and my greatest find in the history of Matt." I'm like, "Oh, bro." But yeah, it was a half dime. And I don't know if I put the comments in. Let me see on the next one if I did. No, I might not have. I got killed in the comments because
you made a faux pas.
I made a faux pas when we were spraying the back, and I said, "Oh, let's see if it's a seated or a barber." Now I know they didn't make barber half dimes. I meant to say the cap bust, which Rich found a few weeks ago, but in the excitement of the moment, my brain, my mouth moves faster than my brain. But no, I was aware of the different coins that were made. And yeah, no mint mark on Matt's, but his first ever seated. And was it even his first ever half dime?
It may have been.
I think so.
That was a trick question because any half dime would be seated earlier.
That's true.
Well, not really.
But you said his first.
That's
true.
He
said his first half dime.
Yeah, his first half dime and his first seated anything. Yeah, cap bust has an eagle on the back. Yeah, but when it's covered in mud and dirt and you can't see it, those oak leaves, when there's a layer of dirt and mud on it, kind of looks like it could be an eagle. Like you don't know, like you're excited, you're seeing things, and every spritz of water maybe displays a little bit, but covers up other parts as it's shooting across the coin. It's cool to drag it out.
I have to say his squirting of that coin was every bit as bad as mine.
It was, well, he was at least hitting the coin.
Like I thought I was looking at myself spray it.
If I hold a coin and Doug's spraying it, like he's hitting like my elbow. And I'm like, "Doug, do you see the coin? Can you see my hand?"
Yeah.
At least Matt was in the vicinity.
Yeah, he was close by.
Doug's been fired from spray duty. But yeah, that was Matt's. And I think Matt also had another bucket lister, this one, Doug. Now, I know what Doug's going to say, because in the video I said, we've never dug a Virginia halfpenny before. And I'm going to show the back because that's the real money.
Yes.
Now, I know before I met Doug, he found a Virginia halfpenny. But if I'm not there and it didn't appear in a video, I don't count it.
Right.
So it was the first one that I've ever seen come out of the ground, while I was there.
Exactly. It was my second copper ever found that I ever found.
Yeah, but I didn't know you at the time, so
no. So it doesn't count.
Doesn't count, right? Life begins when Doug met me. But Doug, now I don't know. I never saw yours. With the back side of yours, which is the money of this coin,
it looks every bit as good
as Matt's. I mean, Matt's is gorgeous.
I brought it and you looked at it, so it obviously didn't knock your socks off. But
did I look at it?
Yes, you did. I've got it in a flip, so it is harder
to
see the detail.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, there's a glare.
I've got plenty of flips. Next time I see you, I'll take it out and show it to you. I think you'll be just as impressed.
This Virginia halfpenny, as the day progressed, and in the video, people saw a little bit like light snow sprinkles coming down.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, from the last clip they saw up until this one, which was filmed totally in the car, it came down really hard. There was probably maybe a half inch of snow covering the ground. My microphone got broken, got damaged, and those microphones are hundreds of dollars each. So I was like, oh, son of a gun. So we all ran back to the cars. So even though Matt dug that, I didn't get any footage in the field near the hole, which I like to try to do, but it was snowing, hailing. We all just kind of took off.
Then turned to rain.
Yeah, it got nasty. Oh, Ken Hurst is here, my buddy Ken. How are you, Ken? So yeah, I didn't get anything of Matt's in the normal sense. I like to try to get things when they're dirty before we clean it, figure out what it is. But with the weather, he just ran into my car, and I saw this just as they saw this.
That was a 1-year coin, 1773.
Yeah. Now, and I forget the exact story on that, but there's a whole backstory to this coin where, the colonists, we needed coinage over here. So we wrote to King George and said, hey, can we make coins? And he said yes. But for some reason, I forget the story. Like we either made them but didn't distribute them for years, or we didn't make them for years. And then I forget the story. If there was a knowledgeable coin person in the chat, maybe they could fill in the gaps if they feel like writing a paragraph.
Nope. See you later, Doug.
What happened? Oh, we lost Doug?
I guess so.
All right, maybe he'll come back. And he left Rich at the best part, which is going to be dun, dun, dun. All right. Now, guys, before I even talk about the coin a little bit, I want to say, I don't know what the odds are of digging a hammered bronze Roman coin in America. When Charlie found this coin, I was dumbfounded. We must have been cleaning it in the field for, I don't even know, a half an hour. And my biggest worry when someone finds a coin like this is I think to myself, man, I almost don't want to show it, because people are going to instantly think that it's baloney. And I don't blame them. You know what I mean? I don't blame them.
You remember when I asked you that? I said, are we going to put this in the video?
Well, because, people are very cynical. and this coin is just, I thought it was unheard of. The one good thing about it was the right guy found it. And what I mean by that is, if I would have found this Roman coin in that field, I would not have put it in the video, and no one would have knew about it but us, because of the lack of belief people would have got. But because Charlie found it, who Charlie, I'm going to say, is about as respected and believed and loved in the community as anybody, I said, you know what, I'm going to put it in because no one's going to believe that Charlie didn't find it. Now, with that being said, I want to bring up some of the comments, because Rich, between the messages and the emails and the Facebook messengers I got, I must have had about 15 people who told me they have also found hammered Roman coins in America. So,
yeah, if you look it up, I mean, not that everything on the internet's true, but a lot of them.
A lot more than I would have ever thought. And from people that I respect too, not just like internet strangers.
Right.
Like Scouting for History, who is a detectorist, YouTuber, smart guy. He's come and helped us in the past. He found a Roman coin, also 3rd century, which is what Charlie's was, 3rd century, which is, if you don't know the centuries, would be the 200 ADs, the year 200 in America, which is just nuts. We also got one from Wiley ate me. I just read his name for the first time. That's pretty funny. He also found a Roman coin and 3rd century. Believe it or not, all the people that wrote me and said they found Roman coins, 90% of them were 3rd century, Rich.
See, that's what I think is very curious.
That's the weirdest part. You know, for how long did Rome make coins for? You know, I don't even know. 600 years, 1,000 years. But most of the ones found in America were from that 100-year period. Don't know why.
I do really like the oh, you're about to go ahead. You're about to read it.
No, what? You read it.
Well, Wiley ate me says, good job, guys. Your ID's great. He also found 3rd century Roman coins in the U.S. on the East Coast, South Carolina plantation. But a lot of ships used to fill their ballast with sand for counterweight, you know, and sand over in Europe would have Roman coins in it. And so that's a big theory on how they all got over here, which makes a lot of sense to me. However, most of them being 3rd century might point my brain in another direction.
What direction? Because I'm still kind of befuddled. I mean, in my mind, I was going under the assumption that, well, an early settler must have collected coins or had a family heirloom or something and happened to lose it in the field. Like a lot of coincidence, you know what I mean? But then as more and more people messaged me and said they found Roman coins, there must be a more logical reason than a one-off of someone losing it in a field. And this sand comment, maybe is the answer. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I do think that it is probably from the ships and the sand.
But why all the 3rd century?
And why all 3rd century? I don't know. But in my mind, at least, they probably did cross the ocean and were met with millions of natives and decided they were going to die if they stayed here. Same thing the Vikings did.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, that seems to make sense, at least why it would come over in quantity.
Yeah.
And we both kind of read over it really fast, but in his comment, he says he knows of at least 5 people, including himself, that found Roman coins in America. So he knows of 5. Well, you know, how crazy is that? When Charlie found his, it was literally the first that I had ever heard of anyone finding a Roman coin in America. And now, since the videos come out, maybe 20 people have commented or so of all the other ones. So I'm not saying it's not common. I mean, it's rare, but it wasn't like it was a one-off thing. You know what I mean? There must be something to it.
Yeah, a lot have been found.
Jason, Steph from Connecticut, Steph Tandre, she said that even colonial people collected coins. She said colonial people collected Roman coins. You know how we have a hobby today? She said colonial people collected Roman coins, especially ones from England.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's I'm sure that there are logical reasons like that. It's just that, you know, it's just so bizarre. You know, like the people that go over to England and hunt over there, they're hoping to find this stuff. You know, no Roman from back then ever set foot in our country. So it's just so far removed in my brain that could even exist if I didn't see it happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so far-fetched. And there was 1 or 2 people in the comments that, you know, were like, oh, they're full of baloney. And I was expecting that because it's so far out there. But to see that other people have found them in decent quantities up and down the East Coast made me feel validated for you, Charlie, because I was nervous about putting it up. Not that I question you ever, but, you know, when people see something like that on a YouTuber's metal detecting channel, you know the assumptions are going to jump to. You know what I mean? Eric Fearchild. Rich, I'm losing my voice. Can you read his comment for me?
Yeah, sure. A few years back, I dug a Roman coin near Chattanooga, Tennessee, about 6 inches deep in the woods on a steep incline. Didn't look at it close till I got home, but it kind of freaked me out as it resembled a very rare Roman coin, only 2 known to exist. Contacted a friend, head of archaeology at UT Chattanooga, put me in touch with the department UT Knoxville. They have a Roman collection. Put me in touch with Oxford, who has the only 2 in existence, and mine was 1 year older. Can't recall who was on the coin, but I think it dated to 221 AD.
Which is 3rd century, just like Charlie's.
Apparently, there's a strange trail of Roman coins being found from Texas, Oklahoma, Kelso, Tennessee, Chattanooga, and a couple in northeast Tennessee near Bristol. Strange stuff.
And up in New Jersey, and a lot of the people that emailed me were Pennsylvania. The one was South Carolina. And Charlie, didn't you say a guy found one in New York that emailed you?
Yes, he did.
Yep, New York. And what was it? Ohio. If you look it up online, a lot have been found in Ohio.
Well, that's just crazy.
I know there are a lot of Roman coins that were made, but I have yet to find one like mine with that radiated. I found some that were radiated, the crown radiated, but none like mine.
That's a beautiful coin too. I mean, look at the detail, Charlie. I tried to, now granted, it was only field cleaned. I tried to really zoom in because you can see the guy's eyeball. You can see his nose. You can see his beard, his hair. You know, that was a nice high relief coin. And when they hammered and struck that, they got a nice center strike. That relief's really popping. I mean, the thing is almost 2,000 years old. And to be able to see all that detail, it holds up better than the copper coins that we find that are 200 years old.
Yeah.
Now, I also put in, now we also had a lot of questions as far as what coin that was. Now, you know, none of us are by any means experts on Roman coins. You know, at the end of the video, if people made it that far, I put out a guess of what I thought it was. I knew it was 3rd century because of that radiate head that's on there. They were like 3rd century. But what Roman emperor was on there, I wasn't sure. I said it was Aurelian. And the coin, that radiate head coin from 3rd century, is called an Antoninianus. And when I was trying to record that in the video, Rich, took me like 12 takes. I just could not remember it. There's like, you try to say Antoninianus.
I'm okay.
But I finally got it. And then I edited it to make me seem smart. But I got a couple of them in here. Here's another one. Last one. MF, metal detecting guy. He found 2 Roman coins at the same site a year apart. So it just goes on and on of other people finding these Roman coins. So, Charlie, as rare as it is and as unique as I still think it is, you're not alone, my friend. Like, other people are finding them, which I think validates us even more, because I was nervous because of, you know, we live in a cynical world. You know what I mean, Charlie?
All right.
Well, look, Doug is back. Doug is back, but he's fiddling with his camera. Once he gets it set up so we don't look up his nose, I'll bring him back in. Let me see. The next ones were, I put a slightly different angle of the coin, and I put in some comments from some of our European friends who really kind of helped narrow down which coin it was. Now, this first one is from someone named Holes Hammer Sagas, who has a YouTube channel, a pretty good YouTube channel, actually, Charlie. I wasn't familiar with them, I'm going to have to say, but I looked it up. Lives over in England, finds a lot of Roman stuff. And I think he's got a well-respected channel over there for his Roman coin knowledge. But he was putting in there, again, Rich, would you mind reading it? I'm going to try to bring Doug in. Or Lynn can read it. One is.
I can't see it.
That's okay. I'll read it. Holzhammer Saga says, "Hi there. I just got told to hop over to see your Roman bronze, and what a beauty. It's in really good condition, and yes, I agree. It looks like an Antoninus, which was
You can't say it.
which is the main
Antoninus.
coin of the day, brought by Caracalla early in the 3rd century. They started life with quite a high silver content, which went steadily downhill. So by the time you get to Aurelian, you're basically left with a bronze coin, which would have been silver. Well done again. Mind-blowing. Maybe the Romans did get over to you."
Nice guy. Yeah, I thought the comment was good that my ID was close. At least he did help me make sure it was 3rd century. And a lot of the other comments that were in the video, he was replying to their comments, and there was whole threads trying to narrow it down. So I just want to really say thank you to the European detectorist that kind of helped out. I'll bring up the next slide, which is hold on. Let's see. Anton Schut. He also said 3rd century Roman Antoninus, which is a 2 denarii, I guess, denomination coin. May have been the pocket of a collector. He said, which was really interesting, Rich, in the late 16th and 17th century, Spain faced high inflation and a severe shortage of small coins. They used anything that barely resembled a coin, including tokens, old Roman coins, anything that was common when they found plow in the fields, and reused them for their metal content because they needed coins. Some of those may have made it to America because they were kind of in circulation, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes all you needed was a piece of metal. If it was worth something, it could be a piece of copper, a piece of silver.
Yeah, it doesn't. A penny's worth of copper, whether whose face is on it, they didn't care. It was a penny's worth of copper by weight.
Yep.
And this was a bronze one, but I thought that was really nice. So thank you, Anton Schultz. And then we have Scott M. Head. He was given some ideas, possibly Roman Emperor how do you pronounce that, Rich?
Galileus or
Galen? I don't know how you say it. Claudius II. During that period, in the late 200 ADs, it looks like when I'm trying to go back in the record, there was a high turnover of emperors. You know what I mean? It was probably a tumultuous time over there where it's not like they were ruling for 50 years, 1-2 years, then another guy, 5 years, another guy. So maybe over that time, it's really difficult to even know who's on it because they were changing so quickly.
It seems like they were very backstabby back then.
Yeah, and a new king, a new emperor comes in. He doesn't want you making that old emperor's coins anymore. So they're probably very short-lived, constantly changing. These are just guesses. Let me see. There's another one, Paul Bulgarin. He also said whatever that is. Now, when I was looking at him in the video, I'd thought it was the emperor right after this Galenus guy. The guy I said ruled from 270 to 275. In looking at other pictures, it may have been this guy, Roman Emperor Galenius, that ruled 10 years or so before that. Regardless of what it is, I think the time period we got narrowed down, roughly 250 to 280 or so AD. Don't know the emperor exactly, but absolutely incredible coin, Charlie. Where do you have that coin as we sit here?
I have it in my showcase in my relic room.
What did your wife say when she saw it? when you come home from New Jersey and you say, "Hey, Judy, check out this 2,000-year-old Roman coin I dug."
She
Like,
always
what's
said,
the reaction?
don't continue to lay your coins on the coffee table for a week. So my special coins I have in my relic room in a showcase, and I have them encased in like a plastic little round container made for coins. You know, those plastic things, that a coin holder. I have them in the showcase.
I saw a question while you were talking. Stephen Vaith asked what the value of the coin is. Now, I don't know the exact value, because a lot of times value is based on condition and, you know, the eye of the beholder kind of a thing. But generally speaking, these 2,000-year-old Roman coins, the bronze ones, are not worth that much. They're only worth like maybe $20-$30, believe it or not.
There's so many. You can order them. I mean, you can just like that. You can order them.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it has so little value. I mean, even if they made that many of them 2,000 years ago, you'd think that over 2,000 years, many got lost, misplaced, whatever. You'd think there would be some better value, but there's really not much value in it.
They made a lot of them.
Jason, I this past week I gave a presentation at a local church at a seniors group. There must have been about 80 folks there, and they were intrigued by a lot of my coins, all my relics. The two coins they were intrigued with the most was the Roman coin and the King Charles coin that I got there at the Cobb Field.
They might be the two best coins you ever found, both at this field.
Yes, besides the half-cent cap bus.
And I think, Charlie, possibly your maybe possible third best thing ever is still yet to come in the next couple of weeks. It's no joke how amazing this field is. And, you know, Doug said, "Jay, why don't you put up a different video, because give people a break from these like mouth-watering." I said, "Doug, it is what it is, man. I mean, we stepped in monkey doo-doo, and I'm so excited. It's just that they're slowly coming out, because we would keep pushing down the field, and every time we pushed down was more and more virgin ground as we went. And this last part, believe it or not, the very first part, we got all the cobs, and now that we're at the very back part, it's also just as amazing, with incredible things in the middle."
Hey,
like, how else do you describe it?
Hey, Jay, the last time we went there, you made a prediction of what we would likely find, and your prediction was so off. Because I don't want to say what we ended up finding. Of course, it hasn't shown yet, but you thought that field was hunted out, and we just walked out of there.
Well, I didn't think it was hunted out. Hold on, I'm sorry. Team Lynch, BMD. Thank you, Team Lynch, for the super chat. And I did see earlier, Charlie, Team Lynch will indeed be with you and Rich at the Come Out Swinging.
Yes.
So if you guys show up there, make sure you say hi to Team Lynch. You might make it in one of their videos also. You could double dip. Double dip, as I call it.
I see them often, and they're great folks to be.
Oh, they are great folks. Yeah, we met them, Doug and I, for the first time at that Deal beach hunt.
Yes.
Very, very friendly.
Yes.
But anyway, Doug, I didn't think it was hunted out. It just seemed like when we found all the cobs and coppers and all that, like at that one corner of the field, once we started pushing out more to what looked like the middle of the field, the signals got sparser. So I thought as you keep going, it would stay sparse, and it did anything but. Let me see. I might have one more here. I must have clicked off it. Hold on. I think I'm done with the comments. Oh no, one more from TLC. They thought it was a Marcus Cassius Clay Pothamus. Doug, who is Cassius Clay? Doug's gone again? What the heck, Doug? Oh my goodness.
There he is.
There he is. I keep bringing him back. I don't know
what he's doing. You knocked me out, Jay.
What's that? I'm going to knock you out.
Jason, do you remember?
What, Rich?
I was saying, do you remember when that was found, I wasn't near you guys, but I had been watching you from a distance, and you were all in a group for a while.
Yeah.
Until eventually you yelled and said, "Hey, Rich, come look at this."
Well, what happened was
right away I said, "That's a Roman coin." And
what happened
like,
with this coin, which was kind of,
I said, "Yeah."
No doubt.
Yeah.
When Charlie found this coin, believe it or not, I had just found something. I forget what it was, Lynn. It was either a button or a copper or something. And me and Lynn were filming it. And Charlie was like 4 feet to my right. And I could hear Charlie, in my ear saying, like, I think this might be silver. It looks really old, like talking to himself. And I'm thinking in my brain, all right, Charlie, hold on, let me finish filming this, which sometimes takes 3-4 minutes. So as I'm filming whatever I'm filming, he's probably slowly cleaning it. And I'm hearing his voice to himself going up octaves, going up. Then I think Doug walked over to Charlie. I'm still filming the button, so I don't want to stop what I'm filming to say, stop cleaning it. Wait till because he's excited, wants to know what it is. So I can hear all this commotion going on next to me. So by the time I'm done filming my stupid button, I stand up and I'm thinking, all right, well, Charlie might have an old seated dime or something. And I look over and I see a relief. It's standing off the coin like the Empire State Building with like sunbursts coming out. And I knew instantly it was something super unique. But my first thought was, well, it must be like a medallion or something. Like I'm thinking there's no way that that's a coin, in America. It must be like a reproduction of an old coin that was like a medallion or something.
I'll never forget that because we were looking at your button and then he came over to me and he said, "Do you think this is anything?" And I remember I let out a scream. You looked at me because you were trying to film, but it was without a doubt something very special.
I just can't believe how nice it cleaned up. And again, the picture you're looking at there is from the field. Us cleaning with a toothbrush and maybe a couple greasy thumb wipes. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how good that would look if it was restored, semi-properly. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing that you can see the guy's eyeball 2,000 years later and his nose and the scruff of his beard. Like, it's fantastic.
Bronze does keep its shape really well.
Well, it really does. Let me see. I think there was one comment left that I put in there. Yeah. No. Oh, more IDs, possible Claudius, something or other. And then ultimately, Clem Fandango, your favorite, Rich, said, all hail Charlius Caesar.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That name fits, I think.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get rid of this for a second because I don't want it to accidentally play into our guest Lynn's thing game. Because every week I seem to screw that game up and give away the answer or something like that. So let me cue the game up real quick. And while I'm doing that, I haven't really been in the chat while we went on and on about Charlie's amazing coin. Did you see anything in there, Rich, of anyone giving any other IDs or any possible answers to that coin?
Well, it kind of just spurred a conversation about what other people's oldest coins are, or
Has anyone in the chat found anything? Heck, even 500 years old in America. I'm not saying if you went overseas, because like I said, based on the comments and the emails and everything I got, people have found Roman coins. But I'm just curious if anyone that happens to be with us tonight has been fortunate enough to find something like that.
Oh, no.
Even 500 years old, Rich, would be, what year would that be? 1500. 1520. I mean, I'm nowhere near that.
Yeah.
Century.
Let me see. I'm just curious. Clem Fandango, you found a 1700 BC Bronze Age axe head in America? Or you found it in general?
No, he's in Wales.
Oh, he's in Wales. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, over there, those guys got a chance for like caveman stuff. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't doubt if they found anything over there. But over here, you know, even 1600s, like I said before, we might find one or two a year for 1600s. Older than that, almost impossible.
I mean, people do find copper culture stuff here, and you know.
Do you know Phil the Knox? He hunts with Merle.
I don't know. I know Merrill. I don't think I know Phil.
Oh, Merle hunts with a guy named Phil the Knox. He reached out to me this weekend. He found a hammered coin, and he wanted me to contact my British friend to find out what it was. It was a King Richard hammered coin from the 1500s. He found it on Long Island, New York.
Wow.
Now that could have been a real early settler, you know, that came over. That coin may have still been circulating. You know, it would have been, 100 years old or so if it was an early settler. So, as rare as that is, I wouldn't say that I'd be like, like that, like
that kid here,
like unheard of.
He was detecting in an area that was settled by the Dutch in the 1600s. That coin was from the 1500s.
Yeah.
King Richard coin.
Was that King Richard the Lionheart? Like I know that. Yeah, I know that nickname.
Yeah. Yes.
Everyone's saying, Doug, wake up. He's been fishing all day. He went to
No. I was at a Phillies game. We won 6-1.
Oh, you're on the team? You made the team?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm the mascot. I'm the fanatic.
Your catcher.
I know he's not the shortstop. All right. All right, listen, we're what time is it, Doug? We're 2 hours in. Let's at least
late.
Get,
I'm about ready to go.
I told you don't have to make it tonight. I know you're on vacation.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm going to bring in our favorite
I want to see
game.
what the new game is going to produce here.
Yeah, we're going to do our favorite game. If you haven't been on the live show, I call it Guess Lynn's Thing. Lynn takes a picture of something from her incredible collection. I'm going to put it up. The first person that can put what it is in the chat wins themselves a Quarter Hoarder hat. And I put in some stickers and a signed photo of me and Doug, because I know everybody wants that for their dartboard, Doug.
That's right.
The last guy told me he puts it in his toilet for aiming practice.
Oh, nice. All right.
But I mean, so listen now, the thing for Lynn, we always had some discrepancies because, maybe you call a tomato, someone writes tomato. So we have two potential names that we will accept. Anything else we're going to say not accept, even if you do call it that. So I'm going to make sure it doesn't play too long too, Rich. Lynn, it fades to black. That way I don't play it too long. Is everybody ready? Adrian Tucker, who I think's won the game twice already. I think twice. Yeah, like he doesn't have to email his address anymore. I just know it. I just ship him a hat every week. Or her. I'm sorry, I don't even know. All right, Lynn, I'm going to put it in full screen so everyone can see it. Are you ready?
Are you sure the answer's not on there?
What's that?
Are you sure the answer's not on there?
I blacked it out, so it'll be good. Here we go. I'm going to be silent so people can see it. Multiple pictures. Good luck, everybody. Guess Lynn's thing.
Hey, Jason, what is that?
I don't want to guess out loud. All right, Smoking Louie with the first guess. Not quite right. Rich and Lynn, if you can see it, keep your eyes on it. Doug, you can't guess on this one, at least not out loud.
I have no clue.
Dangus Squat Burger thought colonial thistle mold.
Oh, we got.
No, Rich, I see it, but that's not good enough.
Okay, wait.
Up. That's getting better. I think that might count.
I think that does.
Yeah, Lynn, you let me know if it's the same one that I'm thinking.
That's close.
Is it Louisiana?
I'm going to let this pictures play out. Hang on. I think that's the last one. I'm gonna pause this.
It is, but that's what we were looking for.
Let me bring us back in, Doug.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Now, I think I saw one that I'd be satisfied with. I'm scrolling up right now. Let me play it through, Lynn, so that they can at least see the answer here. Let me put it over here. Okay. They will play it through. Rich, were you okay with the answer?
Well,
I was. And we're going to see who was first. All right, the answer is, drum roll in, an 18th century water prism magnifier.
Right.
Now, I told Lynn I would accept either water magnifier or prism magnifier.
Right.
I really wanted water in there because water is what really makes it. Lynn, if you can explain what it is and how it works while I scroll through.
Okay. It's shaped like a triangle, which a lot of them have actually 3 sides that are glass. This is a little unusual because only 2 sides are glass. And the 3rd side is wood and has on mine, it has a hole on the flat wood side that would be filled with water, and there was a cork in it.
Here's a picture, Lynn. Now, this one wasn't yours. It was another one that I found. This is the hole that they would fill up with water, and then they would cork it.
Right. And that one probably has glass on 3 sides, so that's why the hole is on the end.
Yeah.
But mine had glass on 2, and then the 3rd side was wood, and that's where the hole was with the cork. So they're pretty rare. And mine was actually oversized as well. It was about 14 inches where they're usually about 6 or 7 inches.
Yeah, this picture here that Lynn got out of a book to just show that it's not just the name we call it, but it was an actual printed name. This one looks like almost like a rolling pin.
Yeah. But
same thing. It was triangular. You'd fill it with water, and with the water in there, it would refract the light, creating a prism, and they would slide it over a book or a paper and magnify it.
Right.
Super early piece. And well, before I get into where it is today, Lynn, did we figure out, Rich, who won?
Well, what are y'all accepting? Because
in a perfect world, I would want something that said water, but I would accept prism.
Water.
Once I saw prism. Now, Lynn, will you accept magnifying glass? Is that good enough for you, Lynn?
I mean, technically that's what it is, but we were kind of looking for.
The first person to say prism is Carol W. And then close after that, Louisiana Mud Dog says magnifying glass. But Carol W said prism, which
just prism.
If you're only asking me, I'm going to say prism counts because that's.
I agree. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. I agree, Rich. I'm going to give it to Cal. When I saw prism pop up, I kind of said, all right, that's good enough for me. So Carol W, I'm going to say, is the winner. Are you okay with that, Lynn?
That's great. Yes.
Carol W, if you were there, I need you to put your zip code in the chat and then email me quarterhoarder@yahoo.com. And as long as the email you send me is the same zip code that you put in the chat, you won yourself a hat, a sticker, and a autographed picture of Doug's naked chest.
I see the zip code.
I see it. Thank you, Carol. Just email me after the show, and I will send it out. Now, the funny story behind this, Lynn sends me the pictures for the game maybe a week or so in advance. Lynn did the antique show this past weekend, brought her prism magnifier, and sold it at the event.
It was the first thing I sold.
So I was like, oh, we don't have one now. But I mean, that's the point of the events.
You want to hear and even to elaborate on that more is before that, she almost bought one online and she lost the bid, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get it. She went to a show that weekend and saw that one in someone's booth and bought it right away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they're not common. In 40 years, I've probably only had one or maybe two ever.
Yeah, when I looked online for another example, I mean, I only saw 2 other ones on the whole internet. I mean, that's a big place, Lynn.
Right. And then I knew the person who had the other one.
Yeah, when I found it on a website, like some antique store, you knew her.
Yeah.
And she was at the show also this weekend.
Yes.
But that's a good segue, Lynn, because not only did you sell that at the show this weekend, but these are some of the pictures of the people that are viewers of the channel, or at least the live stream, that came and saw you at the show. Lynn, I forgot to write down their names. Do you have it?
Yeah, hang on just a second.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for Lynn because I want to give their names out. And Doug, the gentleman on the right, can you see what he's holding?
Hold on. Let me look with my glasses. He's got a picture of you and I.
Yeah, that's the picture that I'm going to send out with the hat.
Nice.
We bring that to the events. Just a little thing that Doug and I a little sign it. We got to sit down and make more. I don't have any with Charlie, with Lynn. I'd like a group shot. We got to do more.
Yep.
And while I'm waiting for Lynn's thing,
Okay,
Dig and Daryl asked if Rich would be going to Quarter Hoarder in Arkansas in October. I'm not sure yet. Doug and I definitely will be there. I'm going to try to see if Rich can make it too. Hopefully he can.
I think because it's so far in advance, I think I can plan around it and make it happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time. That's a fun one. All right, Lynn, you have their names?
I have their names. That are Rihanna, Ralph, and Dominique.
Did they happen to give what their handle is? So if they were here in the chat.
No, I didn't get that.
All right, that's okay.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you. They showed up at Lynn's booth. I don't know how far they came. Super nice of them.
It was great meeting them.
Oh, look, Crazy Diggins said Glasses of Shame is a cool idea. We could do something with that too, Doug.
Yep.
Let me see what else we got. I think we got a couple pictures. Here's another one, Lynn. You get their name.
Yep, that was Jeff and Wendy.
Jeff and Wendy. Where do you remember where they were from?
Somebody was from about a half an hour away.
Okay.
One of those two couples was a half hour away. Yeah.
And I like the layout of your booth at the show too, Lynn.
Thank you.
I like the old forged hooks in the back with the lanterns. Is that a washboard over on the left-hand side?
No, it's actually called a tape loom.
Oh, you should have told anybody. I would have did that next week for the guest Lynn's thing.
Shoot.
If it didn't sell, did it sell?
Yeah, it might have sold. A tape loom?
I just actually bought it at that show.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Well, that's okay. There's a never-ending supply of that stuff. So thank them for showing up also. And then I think I got one more. Yeah, one more. Look how tall he is, Lynn. Or were you sitting down?
No, no, I'm standing. That's Mimi and Dan.
He's like my height, Jason.
Yeah, he's tall. Wow. I'm sorry, Mimi and Dan?
Mimi and Dan, and they actually were from Pennsylvania, like Bethlehem area, which is far, and they were on their way somewhere else, but they did a detour to come to the show.
Well, that was really nice of them. Like I said, it's such a flattering thing that people would go out of their way to hang out with one of us. So I'm super appreciative that that they made it all.
Sorry, Jason. Dan and Mimi in the chat. It was
Dan and Mimi. Now this is Dan and Mimi on the screen right now.
Yep.
Dan and Mimi, look at that. Doug, they thanked us for the picture. They got to meet Lynn. All their dreams came true, Doug.
All in one shot. Very good.
Dan said that he might be contacting you, Jason, possibly about maybe going up to dig sometime.
Oh, does Dan and Mimi, do they live in an old house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dan and Mimi.
And my mom told me about this, and yep.
All right, I will leave that line open, Dan and Mimi. Maybe you'll be seeing them again. I wonder if he's as tall as I am, Lynn. I'm pretty tall. Was he taller than me?
Oh, he's bigger than you.
Really? Darn it.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll wear high heels when we do Dan and Mimi's house.
His stilt shoes.
It's easy to walk in the lawn with.
And then I got a cheap plug. Whoa, what the heck is that?
Oh.
A cheap plug. Lynn's next. Darn it. Hold on, Lynn. All day I had the thing going well. Lynn's next time, which is, her next time. Her next show, is it this weekend, Lynn?
Oh, it's this weekend. In fact, I go to set up tomorrow. So it's this weekend. It's called
the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, it looks like.
It's called the Kimberton Show, and it is in Oaks, PA at the Expo Center. And
I drive by Oaks a lot when I go out towards Charlie's.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Doug, your daughter's not far from there, right?
Right, correct. And Kimberton is near Phoenixville in that general area.
Yeah, well, the show used to be in Kimberton, but it's not in that location anymore, but they kept the name.
And that's all close to Valley Forge. So,
not far.
A lot of history in that area.
Right.
All right. Well,
so
if you guys are able to get out to the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center this weekend, Lynn will be setting up there again, and we'll give her more signed photos. They might make it in the next one if you're able to get over there.
Yeah, I only have 3 more left. So I will need some more, especially for the next weekend after this one.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be 70 dealers at this one, so pretty good. $7 to get in, but for 70 dealers worth of stuff, it's worth it.
That is a large venue there, and always does well with whatever the event happens to be.
All right, that does sound pretty good. I mean, when you hear Expo Center, I'm thinking a big joint.
It's good.
I've been there for other things too.
Yeah. Yep. They have a lot of different areas, so there can be
a
several events going on at the same time.
All right, listen, I'm not plugging the whole Expo Center. I'm plugging you, Lynn.
Lynn, that's not down the highway from where I live.
Are they?
Not far.
Just down the highway from Lynn. Will you give me a signed photograph?
Well, maybe you have to come to the show to get one.
You got to show.
It'll cost you a year 200 Roman coin, Charlie.
I'll trade. It's a fair trade, Charlie.
And then I thought I had one thing at the end. I don't remember what it was now. And this is your very last. Is this the last show you're doing of the season?
No, the last show this month.
This month. Okay.
It's only March.
It's only March.
She's just getting started.
She'll be up in Connecticut the following. That's just Saturday, Lynn?
That one is just Saturday. And actually, I had somebody come last year who recognized me at that show, who watches your show.
So that means you won't be with us for like the next 2 or 3 weeks.
The next 2 weeks, yeah.
You might miss out because we're going to be on some good places.
I know.
But if anyone can get up to the Connecticut Quiet Corner, you can pause the live stream and join Lynn up there, get a picture, get a card, meet Lynn, see her stuff, and maybe they can even help you pick out a potential Guess Lynn's Thing item.
Wendy Olson in the chat, who met Lynn at the show, says, I was so flustered meeting Lynn that I accidentally kicked one of her antiques.
Wendy, you break it, you bought it.
Wendy.
What did she accidentally kick, Lynn?
I don't remember it. I mean, she didn't break anything.
I'll tell you, when I go to like an antique store or something, I am so scared that because I'm so clumsy as it is. I'm big and tall and awkward. I'm so afraid I'm going to like bang something, bump something. So I'm on Wendy's side. It's intimidating when you're around these old, one-of-a-kind, priceless antiques. And especially me, I'm like a donkey, a two-legged donkey, like trying to get through those places.
Well, my stuff's pretty tough. I don't have a bunch of glass and stuff like that. So it's no worries.
How I didn't break stuff growing up in this house, I don't know. But I did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting rid of things. I think that was the last slide. But yeah, join Lynn at either one of the places. She'll be out there. We'll keep posting more and more. And I'm gonna try to bring on more of the guests for some of the events we do go to. Like I said, I know we're going to be at the Heartland event. I think Charlie's going to that one. Me, Doug. I think Teresa was going out there. That event's like 200 people. It sells out in like an hour. The event's sold out. But I still like to plug it so people can go next year. Super nice people out there. D-Technician Lynn said, what's your favorite piece in your collection, Lynn? I think I might know it.
You do?
I might. I think I might.
I could
or
never,
at least in your top couple.
I don't think I could ever come up with just one.
I'll make my guess is that one of Lynn's favorite items to collect are those tin lanterns that are like hand punched. And she has one that there's a date punched in, which is 1776. 1783.
It says
you always tell me that you love that piece when I come over.
Yeah. Well, early lighting in general is a favorite category, I would say. But that
Wendy kicked a bench when she was at your booth. She kicked a bench.
Oh, I did notice a leg missing.
Did you see it? Did you notice a dent and anything? No. Wendy hauled butt out of the event after she
she left real quick.
Hey, I'm going to say goodnight right now. I got to get going.
All right.
Good night, Doug.
I'll talk to you guys Saturday, see how you did.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Dougie.
Hey, it was fun.
Enjoy the vacay.
See you later.
All right. Good night.
Later. He must be exhausted.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to wrap this up anyway. We're just kind of finishing up the thing. So do you have a favorite piece, Lynn?
I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'm still wearing 2 glasses.
Not just one. I really can't.
No? All right.
No.
She has an amazing house. They probably saw it, when we, did the thing, but incredible collection at Lynn's. I'm not even going to go on and on about it. She's been buying and selling antiques since she was 2 years old. Charlie, I'm getting tired. My voice is hoarse. It's been 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I want to try to wrap this up. Charlie, do you have any last goodbyes before we wrap this up? You were the man of the hour this week. You're going to be the man of the hour again coming up in a couple of weeks. What do you think? Oh, and by the way, Charlie is also kind of in a mini vacation this week.
Oh yeah. If you notice behind me, I'm at Delaware Beach House.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Charlie's got, when Charlie sold that Roman coin, he bought a beach house in Delaware
For $30.
No, Charlie's down at his beach house. And you picked a beautiful week to go, Charlie. It was 70 degrees out today. It was gorgeous.
Well, I was detecting the beach today. I detected the beach yesterday. I found absolutely nothing except clad money, clad coins. Nothing, no gold, no silver, nothing.
No Roman hammered bronze pieces?
No. But what was interesting to me is when I found that Roman coin, I created some friendship from England when I was in England back in October, and they congratulated me, and they said that was a rare one. They kind of knew it was like a rare coin. So it made me feel good that they congratulated me finding that Roman coin here. And they said to me that other Roman coins have been found in America over the years. So
a lot of them. The funniest part too, Charlie, ironic funny part is that Charlie actually went to England last year to hunt for a week. And this coin that you found in America was still older than any coin you found over there, wasn't it?
That's correct. Yes.
You went all the way over there, spent thousands of dollars, comes back here and finds his oldest coin ever.
Yeah, right. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
But there was some good stuff. I mean, one of the guys in your group found a gold coin, right? A gold coin was found?
Gold coin, King Edward gold coin, yes. I did find a silver coin. I found Henry II silver coin, hammered coin. 1135, something like that. 11. That was kind of cool. I did not find a Roman coin over there. I had to come back to America to find it, I guess.
Yeah, well, you got to know where to go, Charlie. You got to know where to go.
But I had an exciting time at this permission. You guys, great. It's the best place I've ever detected. We were there 11 or 12 times. Every time we went there, we did so well. Incredible place. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to find that Roman coin, to find a King Charles II hammered coin. It's been such a great adventure for me and all of us, really. But
I will always go back there.
And it's not like I mean, we're kind of done for this season because it's the guy's going to be planning.
Yes.
But I mean, we might be back again in the winter. I'm hoping that we can get him to do at least a little tilling of the area, you know, just to shake up the earth a little bit. But I'm sure we're going to go back again in the winter, you know, once everything's done. But
there's so many signals by the road.
There's so many signals everywhere. It really was magical.
Right. So I just want to say thanks a lot for showcasing my coin tonight. And I did want to say one thing about Robert's come out swinging. One thing he did not mention, there were 10,000 soldiers in that area there for a week and a half. So if anyone come out swinging, there's an opportunity to find some Red War stuff because George Washington was there after the Battle of Brandywine for a week and a half with his troops. And I'm hoping they find some great stuff there, which they have the opportunity that they might.
Yeah, but both events, like I said, we had them on earlier, the Come Out Swinging event and the the ShowMe Pro-Am. If you can get to one of the two events, there's only a few tickets left. By the time the live stream's over, those tickets might be gone.
Right.
But act fast. You know, you're going to meet Charlie, you'll meet Rich, you're going to have a chance to find, you know, maybe coins George Washington held in his hand. His inaugural button was found at the event just last fall, along with all the coppers and everything like that. So, and you're going to make some great friends. I mean, nothing beats, you know, making new friends at some of the, I met like 3 great people last year, walked all around all day long. Of course, in the moment, I forget their name, but I would recognize them if I saw them again.
One key word about like Come Out Swinging, be patient. The first day, Saturday, not a whole lot of things were found. Saturday, we moved over a little bit. Boom, it exploded Sunday.
So you're saying Saturday's the jinx day?
No, not necessarily. But this past year was a little slow Saturday, but we moved over and down, and it just exploded. And some of the people, you know, they didn't come back the second day, and they missed out on a lot of great stuff.
I know. I had family plans Sunday. I knew I couldn't make it back, and that's when all the fireworks went up. People were texting me
Sunday.
Yeah, I missed some good ones. But
he's just saying, don't get discouraged. If you paid for the event, you may as well come both days.
Oh yeah, go both days, hang out. I think there's a meet and greet at both events.
Yeah.
There's meet and greets Friday. You know, you can go say hellos, make some friends, maybe meet a hunting buddy to go with on Saturday at the meet and greet. You know, everyone's usually very friendly. They're going to be excited for you if you find something. You'll be excited when they find something. It keeps you motivated when you're seeing other people find good stuff. So you tend to pay more attention, go slower. It's just a great atmosphere.
Right.
Keeps you motivated when no one's finding stuff too, because you're like, at least I'm in the same boat as everyone.
If no one's finding anything, I tend to lose motivation.
I mean, they found relics and coins the first day, but I knew that we were going to move over to a different location that was promising location, and it was incredible. So do the 2 days. If you can do the 2 days, do the 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And Rich, it'll be your first event that I won't be there. You know, Rich is going to, when they hand out the Nokta prizes, I'll get a picture of Rich and Charlie with the winners in front of the banner for Come Out Swinging. I might put it on Nokta's Facebook page and maybe put it on Nokta's website. So, you know, get out there and see. I got connections, Rich. Put it up on the Nokta website. And Doug and I are going to be doing the same down in the Missouri hunt. So go out there. I'm telling you, you're going to have a great time. Rich, do you have any final words before I have no voice left?
Well, I love to meet the people. I love to meet the fans and fellow detectorists. So just don't hesitate. Come up to me, come up to Charlie, talk to us, take a picture, you know, hunt with us. I'll be it'll be me and Charlie, but chances are we won't be next to each other all day. So come out and hunt with us.
It'll be a good time. Like I said, other YouTubers going to be there. Team Lynch, I said, was going to be there. I think usually Jersey History Hunters, Audra is usually there. The moderator, Hollywood Joe, is usually there. I don't know if he's going to this one or not. I don't know if KK's going or not. She might be in England with Teresa, but you're going to meet some great people. You're going to have a good time. And if you make it to the Missouri hunt, well, I mean, you get me and Doug, and you get a solar eclipse. Come on.
And Muddy Relics asks, will there be a video up of the hunt up north with Rich and Charlie?
Well, if Rich wants
best,
if you want to go around and record things,
to record some things.
I asked him for photos because asking for videos a lot. But if Rich can even take photos, I will incorporate them in.
Yeah.
And Charlie usually does videos too. Charlie's got a YouTube channel. He's got his TikTok channel. So you might get in part of Charlie's video, even though I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, if you find something awesome, come up and show us. We love to see it, and we'll take a picture of you with it, and it'll be fun.
Lynn, any final words?
Jason, I have one final word for you.
Oh, okay.
Special glasses.
Thanks, Lynn.
I have special glasses I can give you for the solar eclipse.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
Is that thing that I'm bad with that? Is this the solar eclipse where like I have to like look at a piece of cardboard and like I'm reflecting the sun?
No, I have glasses that you can wear.
I was going to put on like a welder's helmet.
Well, you could do that.
I'm only kidding. I'm not bringing a welder's helmet on the plane. Come on, Charlie.
Jason, I have glasses for you. These are not the glasses of shame.
I have no shame, so it doesn't even matter. But if I could borrow them, that would be wonderful.
Okay.
He's had 2 pairs of glasses on this whole live stream.
But Charlie, the same eclipse, even though it'll be less dramatic, will be up here. Will you need the glasses?
No, that's all right.
All right.
I'll be fine. I'll go out in the bar and get my welder's hat.
Yeah, I just don't want to bring a welder's hat on the plane.
I'll use mine at home.
Lynn, any last words again?
I'd like to say congratulations to Charlie again on that special coin. I'll never see anything like that again come out of the ground.
Hey, never say never, Lynn.
Well,
we might be back at that same field in the winter and pull another one.
I hope there's more, but it was really an honor to be there. Thanks again to all the folks that came out to the Hudson show last weekend. And I hope the next 2 weekends I'll see and get to meet some more. And thanks to you, Jason, for all the work you put into promoting us and putting the videos together.
Well, thank you. And I'm so glad they came out. I'm sure we're going to meet people in Missouri. I'm sure Rich and Charlie are going to meet people and come out swinging. You're going to probably bump into people at the antique show. It's one of the best things about doing this YouTube is, as vast as the internet is, it does kind of bring people together because I'm a people person and I like looking someone in the eye, shaking their hand and adding their face to my mental Rolodex. So I really look forward to it. So I can't wait to see who we meet. But I'm going to end this shindig, Charlie. I am tired and my voice is sore. So, hey, we'll be back here in 2 weeks for the next live show. You'll see us Tuesday, I guess, on our next video. Hopefully you will. And thank you to everybody in the chat who hung with us. I don't even know. Like we've been on for like 6 days.
There's still 224 people hanging out.
I know. I mean, now granted, Thursday there's nothing on TV Thursday. So we really monopolize. No, but thank you everybody. If I didn't, I already get a lot of hellos. Marty Vistral's Digging with Marty, who I thought I saw earlier, will be at one of the events we're going to. I forget which one. Jay Diggs History, Andrew T. Smoking Louie I got earlier, Kitty Lobo, Sue Ramsey, everybody in there. KK I got earlier, but I can't give her a shout outs enough. Thank you for hanging with us the whole time. I really appreciate it. We're going to get out of here though before I got no voice left. So hey everybody, thanks for watching. Happy hunting, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.